guys.
Hey guys, welcome in. Back to a pretty busy afternoon here. I was just having a read on this. DoorDash just doing this, 2%, big move back to the upside on a note involving this Relax on an AI-driven partner here. So a big move for DoorDash going from 61 up to 64 in the last couple of minutes. There was also a move in SEDG downside, U.S. trade panel to probe solar optimizers, inverters, and parts for SEDG. Back to the downside, electronic components maker. But yeah, DoorDash up on that AI note there, just as we switched over. Hope your afternoon is going pretty well. It has been a relatively red day overall, but we are creeping back in the right direction. Here's a look at the S&P 500. Currently, it's been all about oil and energy stocks back in positive territory. As crude touches 4+% to the upside. Under half an hour to go here for the pit session in crude. 5.3 there for FANG leading the way. Apache up more than 5%. Oxy as well. MRO, EOG, all the producers top of the list here for energy stocks. CTLT, BMY as well to the downside in the healthcare group. This was an earnings name. BMY down on news of a failed trial. If you missed that this morning, that was out halfway through the morning on a stroke treatment. Cardinal Health there having a nice day, 3%, MCK, CNC, to name a few in the healthcare group. But you can see the rest of the board here, very, very mixed. Tech stocks mostly lower on the day. It is semiconductors here that are leading. Few of the hardware equipment makers are in positive territory. Consumer discretionary names, pretty good afternoon as well. Etsy, Ulta Beauty, BBWI, all higher. DPZ downside 2.3%. GE, Roku, or ROK, I should say, in negative territory there in the industrials group. If you have a look at utilities and material stocks, these two were among the leaders to the downside to start the day off. Nice reversal here for the utility groups, CFCE, MLM, VMC, to name a few in the material sector, also having a nice reversal as far as the afternoon is concerned, but pretty mixed board, leaving the market overall relatively flat once again to start the week. After what we saw happen back on Friday, hey, we'll take it. We'll keep an eye on some of these oil names as we head towards the close, but welcome in. We'll jump into a little bit of a review. Ton of opportunities were discussed. If you joined us in the pre-market, as always this morning, make sure you're joining us every day at 8:30. Guys, there was a busy morning. There was lots to talk about. Neil's going to swing through to kick us off this afternoon and review one of his trades.
Welcome, your trade of the day brought to you by Day Trade the World as always. Get your trading journey started the right way. This morning it was about Bed Bath & Beyond, and there was a lot of things moving that we could look for, but a lot of it was to that short side. But Bed Bath & Beyond, they secured that $370 million loan, and when I just take a quick look at what was going on in the stock, obviously Ryan Cohen getting out. I have a 60-minute up here. He got to 28, and then there was just a horrendous fall to the downside. But it was this consolidation that got pretty interesting the last couple of days last week. You had this $12 level, certainly after that full bottom got made, resistance at the top at 12. The next couple of days, you found a little bit of resistance, especially at 11 late afternoon on Friday. So those are the two ones that we come in thinking, okay, it's managed to hold $10. It's putting in some higher lows. And then you've got that positive catalyst. You get some online chatter and some buyers behind it. And then suddenly you're a little bit off to the races. But until it broke 12 even, it was a more structured concept. You were breaking in, holding above that 11, putting in a higher low. So it's dip buys to there, still resisting 12 even. So working that trade. And then when it gets to 9:30. Oftentimes, and you've seen this before, if you've been trading any squeeze names or meme names, whatever word you want to give them, without the breakout at the open, a lot of times you're seeing that dip buy. So we come right in looking right back to that $11 support. You're buying the dips in front of 11, taking scalp trades out 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. It tries to get to that 11.75, even that 12, can't make it there. But the trend still solid. You've got yourself a nice base at 11, and then you put in a little bit of a higher low right in the afternoon, right about 11 o'clock as we're heading off of our morning show, a little more scalping, and then right into 1180. And this is where I exit on that push, take out most of the shares, because if it follows a pattern of rejecting 12 even, putting in a dip buy. You want to go back to the well of picking your spots to get back in. But as we showed, that key was if it gets above 12, the gap fill. Everyone's always looking for that big gap to be filled. A lot of times you can anticipate that there's going to be more room for the stock to run once it gets through that level. And I'll tell you, it was probably even better than anticipated because 12 even, I was able to get some in, had to step away from the desk, and I'll tell you, it was painful to have to walk away from how good this was. It's not about the fact that it breaks, gives you like a 25 to 30 cent scalp. It's that it comes back and tests exactly at 12 even. Now, obviously, it's been moving every single dollar at that point, so that's why I like the out in front of 13, but it gave you the same consolidation than a breakout at 13. The lesson to always be learned when it comes to these parabolic squeeze names, whatever you want to call these bad boys, is once you open up that gap, always hold on to something for the extended move. Even if it's moving a dollar at a time and that's your bit of a range, understand that it did have that gap that was a lot bigger to at least maybe get you back to that 15 area this low in here. Doesn't quite get to 16, but it certainly got close enough at 15. I'm not going to tell you that I was looking for the short at 15 even. Clearly that would have been a good number. The question for me is going to become, as it dips back in, does it have the ability to hold either that 12 or that 13 level? But the plan, once it was gapping up, showing that support at that even 11, just go back to the well, take your scalp trades, but don't forget that breakout at that high at 12. We love these fills, these gap fills, when you break multi-day resistance or multi-day support. Those are sometimes the best opportunities out there for a day trader. The key, of course, is if it's got an extra catalyst like the squeeze, you might want to hang on to a little bit more. That's your trade of the day, Bed Bath & Beyond. Probably more to come for this the rest of the week.
Yeah, unbelievable move for BBBY. AMC joining the party as well, up 4% at one point this afternoon here, trying to bounce as well. But that was the watch list this morning, guys. Make sure you grab the link to that. All you need is your email, and you get it for free every single day. We send it out before we come on at 8:30. Just seeing another note on CFVI. It doesn't look too important, but CFVI has been popping around this morning as well, and was along with DWAC on that note about True Social. Here's AMC, as I was saying, back to 950, trying to hold 950, 3.75 to the upside. It was up 4% at the high. So all of these squeezy kind of names led by Bed Bath & Beyond trying to go as well. Netflix, it's worth a note, out with a statement. Remember, there was that suggestion from Bloomberg. Bloomberg was reporting $7 to $9 is where the pricing for their ad-supported model is going to come in when it debuts later this month or later in September. They've come out this afternoon saying they've not decided on anything and are still very much considering all options when it comes to this ad-supported model, guys. For Netflix, still up 1.5% here.
Oh man, that stock is strong.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I haven't even looked at Netflix today, to be honest with you. It's bouncing its head off of that 227 right now. I actually just got into Roblox, but it wasn't a keystroke error. I just don't know why it fired off. Like I was waiting for it to break 40, it didn't. So now I'm averaged in back to the 50 period. Like I was just pennies away from getting in anyways, but we fired in early and then we're sort of compounding our problem here. So it's a new trade that you might have not seen me in obviously this morning. We just took this on right now, is Roblox. But okay, so we're gonna get out of that if it breaks down through 70. It looks like it's coming back in, which is fine. We're short Amazon, we're short JD, we're short Palantir. We've got names that we want. This Roblox is gonna cost me a little bit here, not too much, but that was a mistake trade to get in, and now we're just compounding it. But we'll see. I still like the long. Roblox today up 0.59, and I only talked about that, A, because it was a new position, and B, because it's another stock that's up today. The Dow actually turned positive. I don't think the NASDAQ ever turned positive. And again, we weren't at our desks all afternoon here, but which I'm going to show you some trades that we clearly missed. But yeah, Netflix up there, 227. I mean, that's come and gone now. I mean, it's still here, but this 227.50 area was a good short for sure, I think, coming back up to those levels. So, you know, big time movement this morning. I was not expecting this. Like we said, I was a seller of Netflix, sold half of the position last week, and today I guess they like that. I went the other way on that. I thought that the tier system would be cheaper than $7 to $9, like less than half price for watching ads, but again, you know, whatever they want to do, they're going to do. So Netflix right here continues to make a nice move to the upside, but I feel like it's probably done. I don't know. I mean, as long as we trade under VWAP, I like the short here, and I'm going to be waiting for 227.50. So needs to climb up a couple bucks here before I short it again, but really impressed with how Netflix held up today. And hey, maybe that's, I mean, I think that bodes well for Apple, for Disney, for Paramount, for any of these streamers, that if the market's going to hold up well when you're announcing something that I think is a little disappointing, and again, it's just my opinion, then I think you go ahead and you buy the Disneys and you buy Apple and Disney maybe for different reasons, but I feel like that's a really good reaction today to news that I didn't think was very positive.
Yeah, it doesn't look. I might agree with you on the pricing for sure, but from what I heard, it's like, what is it, per hour? You're talking about.
Did they release that?
I heard Sharif say it, and I'm not sure if this is true, right? So I just heard Sharif sort of say that per hour was like, what, 60 seconds of ads for every 60 minutes? Was 30 seconds of ads?
Oh, is that what he was saying? Oh, that's right. He was doing some bad math.
Yeah, it felt like that's not a lot of advertising, was my first gut reaction. And
60 seconds for 1 hour.
In 1 hour, there's that minute of ads? That much ads?
I can see that. I mean, when you're watching TV, I think it's 30 minutes is 23 minutes of content. So they
like
actually give 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's a ton of ads in regular cable. So to me, like that little.
Maybe it's not bad.
If that's what it is, then I don't mind the price point, but I'm not sure if that's true. Either way, let's just talk about how strong the stock is. I'll probably come in tomorrow a little more excited than I am this afternoon in Netflix, if only because the market made such a big move to the upside late, and Netflix didn't get back toward the high. So. Okay, great, 224. I'm going to like this for support, hopefully all week long, at that 224 level if we have any strength this week. But I would have expected that we'd be testing these highs and breaking out from 230 if the market was going to show a little bit of strength, which it did. We retested the high from the morning in the NASDAQ, and we put a lower high in Netflix. I think that makes it a little bit disappointing, and I want to call it a possible nothing burger this afternoon. I'm in this AMC, and it should be Bed Bath & Beyond almost, now I think about it. But AMC broke that 950. I'm sitting in the breakout of this. I got a little bit of a dip buy as well as it held 945. It's just holding this top break. But this is, I mean, it's not exactly accelerating to the upside, whereas Bed Bath & Beyond just made another push. So I might go back to that. Well, I just felt the top break on AMC looked pretty solid. But BBY just held 1330, and keeps on trying to press up here. It's going to have to get through 15 even. Otherwise, I think we have a reckoning with VWAP to come, although it's already bounced once.
A little one from this morning, AHI, just popping back up as well, back towards day highs, it looks like, for that one. So a ton of little movers still all around. I mean, there's AHI and a few other ones. We'll get to that in a sec. I want to mention this. Big Tech was among the highest as far as active in the pre-market this morning. And we were looking at it in the sense that, this was the group that really led things to the downside on Friday, along with some of the banks after Fed Chair Powell got off the stage and got away from the microphone at the Jackson Hole Symposium, talked down the market very effectively. Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, amongst others. We're among the weakest in the pre-market, but trying to get back to positive right now.
Yeah, I mean, everything's trying to get back to positive. I just said nah, 'cause I don't know if we're going to get to there or not today. I feel like the NASDAQ tried. This was a name here that we were short. I mean, again, we're all over this all today. If you want, some trade ideas early, the watch list, and then the watch list will go over some stuff, and I'll give you some levels that I'm looking at here. But look at this AMD today, man. I mean, it tried to go. We were a little nervous. There's no doubt about that. When we were shorting this many shares up here, and it was just still ticking higher and higher and higher. Like that was pretty nervous, but the market definitely gave it up near the end, right? And so that was so far so good to the downside. And then right before our meeting at noon, I put this trade on at 89.15, and it went down in the money again, another 75 cents before coming back and getting stopped out after an hour-long meeting, and then back and forth there. So I still feel like there's more downside here. We just got back to sort of these pre-market levels of 89.80. That would have been a decent short, obviously, to the downside there as well. So not a great take for AMD to get out here. But again, you know, broke VWAP, so we had to schedule it to get out, which it did. But I still feel like there's more shorts coming. I mean, we're talking about big cap, right? So yeah, I mean, Amazon, again, one of those names that was pretty scary. And then I just noticed no trading in here. We sit back down again, 1 o'clock, and I just instantly start shorting again. So I really like these plays, short. The only thing is we're into one long right now. It's Roblox. And then are we talking about Chinese soon? Yeah, PDD. So I'll leave some of those thoughts for then. But for me today, Tesla, I guess. What are you going to talk about? Oh, you have Tesla up. Okay, so I'll leave that. I can't believe I just got stopped out on Tesla as well. But
well, yeah, we sat back down. I don't know if it was the same time, but anyways, Tesla this morning off of the previous close, it tried to make that pop to the upside, rejected, actually ended up holding that 280 level after all. So there was no 280 break, which I think would have looked pretty good for that short if it took it out. But when it came back from the meetings, I kind of got this lower high top, shorted it, it worked for about $1, and then it stopped out at break even. Got up again, and then it actually did make this move into 288. And if it get anywhere close to 288, I'm going to short that one more time. But the interesting thing here is Tesla, while being down 1%, has this 285 higher low. So it made this rejection of 285 at noon, broke out, and is now holding this as support. So if 285 holds here, Tesla suddenly becomes pretty interesting for a chance to be able to run higher if we do break those highs. Like, that'd be a strong move. For now, it looks weak. I want to be shorting off that 288 level. In big tech, was relatively weak almost all session long. But Tesla here showing some signs. I don't want to say that it's about to hold 285. I mean, it's 20 cents away from breaking it. But if that level starts to hold, you would have a potential for a breakout the top, and it's exactly the kind of name, one of the bigger weights in the ES, that could bring us back to potentially getting to the green. Because truth be told, it's been the same. This is a NASDAQ. I mean, 12.6 in the NASDAQ, tested 3 times, rejected 3 times. You know, and the only difference this time is, you know, we haven't pulled all the way back to the low of the day. But there's still, I don't know, about an hour and 45 minutes for that to potentially happen. It's going to take something like a Tesla for that not to be the case.
Let me just do this Maz Markets quickly here because it was about Amazon. I talked about patience paying. Here it is right here. What's up, Maz Markets? Thanks so much for the 20. But yeah, right there. So he's talking about patience pays off. And I actually tweeted something out about patience earlier. And I think it was with the Tesla waiting for that move to come all the way back up. But you're talking about grabbing that Amazon. So there's Tesla right there. I actually just re-shorted it right now and we're in the money 50 cents. But I want to take more. All right, let's go over to Amazon quickly. You mentioned in your super chat there that you were waiting very, very patiently until 11:30. So, I mean, thanks for the super chat, and you picked the bottom. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. That's the top right there, live trading here, and Maz Markets, you picked the bottom there. So, top and bottom. I wish we can sort of combine both of ours, but thanks for the super chat, and you definitely hit that. Patience pays. I just want to ask you, like, and you could put it in there, were you just waiting against that pre-market bottom? Like, that's kind of what I was doing. I was waiting for that to break, which is why I covered at 129.36. So you and I had similar ideas there that bottom might not break, which is why we have 3 covers there. But if that's what you were using, then I think that's a decent stop right there, 128.60, just because you were long at 129, I assume, somewhere in there. So a nice little move there for Maz Markets. And yeah, we're back into the short, a couple reloads there. Now we're short 130.66, back in the money 50 cents. So I'm going to super chat myself right now as well. But shout out to all our viewers. I'm glad you guys are making bank.
It was a meme kind of rally this afternoon, or a meme kind of afternoon to start things off. We heard about BBBY. Here's an interesting note, guys, for AMC. Coming up on September 3rd, National Cinema Day. We'll see more than 3,000 theaters and over 30,000 screens offer tickets for $3 in an effort to generate more interest back into going to watch TV. So, I mean, not necessarily something that's going to move AMC, but a nice positive day regardless for AMC.
$3. Look, obviously that's a good price. I don't know what I want to go see. Lots of stuff out there to watch. I finally got to watch Top Gun over the weekend. That was, let's just put it this way, if you're a fan of the old one, wow, that's a fun movie. But if you're not, I can see why some people were like, it's kind of meh. But AMC, I sort of feel like it was more of a, not a relief rally, a sympathy rally that AMC seemed to get today. Like when Bed Bath & Beyond started taking off, like AMC rejected, it did a little 9 break, got to 950, it was pulling back. And then when Bed Bath & Beyond got going, you know, that's when this started to go. And I really felt when it made this 950 break, it was you know, we're going to be a little bit off to the races. I just look at the consolidation since this got. Look, when they did the ape offering, I mean, realistically split. You know, clearly the stock's been under a lot of pressure. It's been holding a low similar to what Bed Bath & Beyond was doing, where you had a series of bottoms. This was the first time you're sort of breaking out of that bottom channel. So I like that look. I thought we'd be getting to $10, like the previous resistance from last week. You had 3 days in a row with $10 as the top. Felt like that's where we're headed. But, I mean, it'll go 5 or 6 pennies in the money off this breakout and not go anywhere. It's Bed Bath & Beyond that's been much more exciting. So probably this afternoon, I mean, this will be the one that I think has a better chance to go. I'm going to hold on to AMC. If it holds 940, fair enough. I'll give it the shot to go to 10. But you can see, like, you're getting actual movement out of Bed Bath & Beyond still, instead of, you know, AMC following Bed Bath & Beyond and doing absolutely nothing. BBBY is in its own world right now, though it's having some trouble now with 14 even. So the 15, it never got there, got to 1488 and pulled back. But that 14 even, it broke briefly, and you had a wick top there. So I do feel like it wants to test VWAP. And if it can bounce off VWAP here, then I think that's when it gets its second salvo going.
Okay, yeah, I actually heard that, and again, don't quote me on it because I'm pretty sure it was a story I heard this morning out the door, but it was the worst weekend since COVID for movies. Yeah, by far the worst. I think the leader was some random movie. I don't even know. I mean, there might be some stats out there, and you guys can verify that. But I mean, you know, it makes kind of sense too, right? It's the last week. I mean, here it was beautiful weather. Obviously, you know what happens in Toronto doesn't happen everywhere else. But you know, I can sort of see that with summer winding down, so on and so forth. All the blockbusters are gone, and I don't think they come back again. You know, you got to wait for those. I don't even know what the next one is, but you're going to have to wait for some of those movies to be released, I guess, into the fall.
I think there's a Marvel one coming soon.
Probably. I mean, I guess so. There's always seems to be a Marvel one anyways. But into Christmas, of course, is a big summer, big time for movies as with the summer. So, you know, I just feel like that's a great move for AMC to do that and just to get people back. Because did you see it in the theaters or at home?
So we stayed downtown because we were downtown for my wife's birthday, and then we're in the hotel room, put my daughter down.
You rented it,
and so we rented it there. I
saw that.
I was like, if I finally watch it, so whatever. You pay way too much to rent them at the hotel, but I'm like, you want to watch Top Gun? She's like, hell to the yes.
Yeah,
I'm
it's right there.
First of all, that's a win right there because no date night move, man. We're watching Top Gun. It was a lot of fun. I can only imagine how kick-ass it would be on a monster screen, though. Like
we watch like Friday on date nights and stuff.
Friday. See, that's what's up, man.
Nah, I'm just playing around. I don't know the last time I watched that, but it is good to have a significant other that has similar
Don't
interests.
act like you don't want to watch Friday like right now.
I do, but the thing is, it's so much better than the other ones. Like I think there's even like next Friday. There's like Good Friday. There's not Good Friday, but there's Good Friday.
No Chris Tucker,
man.
Yeah,
that's probably what that's probably what it is.
Chris Tucker only did the first one.
You know what I was gonna say though? We were watching something, and I think it's called Day Shift or something. There's a new Jamie Foxx.
That's what I was telling the vampire movie.
That's it.
With Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, with Snoop Dogg. Yeah. So doesn't it seem like Netflix right now? Every other movie is either. What's that petite guy there?
It's Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, or Jamie Foxx, or The Rock, or something. Like I feel like
Ryan Reynolds.
They're really like pushing these like every single movie. Like I'm watching. Yeah, I know they're getting paid, and then they're paying off all the comedians as well, like all those stand-ups that are on there. Anyways, I mean, we already talked about Netflix, but I just feel like every other movie is Jamie Foxx or Kevin Hart, and they've all been actually pretty decent. I haven't watched them all. We just started watching. I think that was last night or the night before. I didn't get all the way through that vampire.
I thought it was funny. Look.
I thought it was funny too, but we sort of.
I have a thing where I'll put in like either like non-serious films or things I've seen before when I'm working out, just so it doesn't distract me. Like my workout movie last time was that Jamie Foxx vampire thing, and let's just say, like it actually, it definitely had me get a knockout workout because I was actually paying attention to it. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, then by the time like it's your 20 minutes in and you don't even realize it.
Yeah, it's like what's going on? It was pretty good.
Anyway, shout out to those movies.
Apparently, we never got to the Chinese stocks, Brendo.
Oh.
I got through 10 minutes of that. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Bristol Myers, guys, back to day lows. Just saw some volume coming back into this. They had that stroke note this morning. There was a trial that failed for them. So 6% now for BMY. PDD, on the other hand, nice day. It is holding around the middle of the range, essentially, from the day. It did come off the highs that we saw initially. But good report, good forecast, lots of positive talk on North America for PDD.
I hate Pinduoduo. I'm going to get that one.
I'm indifferent. I didn't trade it today.
I hate the stock.
I like JD
because
JD's a positive one.
Well, the worst part about it is like you come in, you do your preparation. It's like, okay, I'm looking at Pinduoduo today. I said I like the 65 break, but it broke in the pre-market. And then I liked 64 for support, but then it put that move in at like 7 a.m., right? So the trade ended up being through 65 at 7 a.m. with the dip into 64, like that little consolidation there. Then by the time we sit down and we're doing our morning prep, it's down here beneath those prices. So it did set up once again for the 65 break. But you can see I don't have it because I was short. I only had small cap longs this morning. Everything else was to the short side. So I don't have the long at 65. By the time I'm getting the long, it says double top break, $2.50 higher. That when you don't get the price you like, you feel like you're chasing and you don't hold on to it. That's fine. I don't mind not holding this. I didn't believe in it. But then once it got to 69 in the daily, I was like, it's a short at 69. Worked, then it didn't. And then when it got to 70, I'm like, oh, it's a short at 70. Enter it at 69, add at 70, and then it takes out 70 even. And by the time it gets to 72, I'm just done with shorting it and moving on to Alibaba because that was relatively weak. And then, of course, when you don't short the top, that's when it is the top. That's how these things work out. But it comes down to one thing and one thing alone. My initial desire for a trade on Pinduoduo was at 65. That's the level that I wanted to trade. And if it held below that price, I could have just ignored it all day. But it gave that breakout right at 9:30. That was the entry that I wanted, a 65 break, didn't take it. If you have a plan of action, like you set it up, this is what I want, this is what I see, then do that or don't do it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like piss or get off the pot, right? And to me, I should have just walked away from it. Whether or not 67.50 worked and I could have held it, it doesn't matter. That's not the trade I wanted. It was that trade there. And when you find something that's that strong, also went over to Alibaba when Pinduoduo kept going higher. It's like, well, Baba can't hold 100, Baba can't hold 99. Just go over to something that is weak, right? Like at least stop fighting it and then move on to something else. Because Baba just fell off a cliff, still holding it down at 97. All the strength that was in Pinduoduo meant nothing to Alibaba once it cracked 100 to the downside. And I think that 100 level on Baba is going to be a good resistance. But I took too long to get away from Pinduoduo. It was the only, I guess, big cap tech name I was looking for a long in, so it kind of sucks not to have gotten that 65. But you're never going to be perfect. All you can do is be better than you are the day before.
Because you're talking about Snoop Dogg and then
Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, having that significant other there. I found out that this weekend, not only am I going to see Nas and Wu-Tang, but you know who else signed up? Busta Rhymes.
Bus is going to be at the concert.
Busta Rhymes is going to be there. And then tonight we have drinks. I'm going to the TFC game on Wednesday, so that should be real fun. And then Wu-Tang, Busta Rhymes, and Nas, and then probably a lot more showing up there on Sunday night. So, and then we have our drafts and everything.
You should do a verse.
So very, very, very busy weekend.
That's going to be a ridiculous concert.
That should be a good concert for sure.
Concert.
Yeah, should have a lot of fun at that concert. But okay, what were we talking about? PDD. Okay, so I said my piece about PDD, right? And about that, I thought that I need to talk to Danielle. I need to figure out, what should I be shorting, this or what levels, and blah, blah, blah. And obviously, you're seeing that come way back down. I didn't put on any options trades, so there's that. All right, we were frustrated a little bit early because we were shorting JD. So, as JD was ripping to the upside, I felt like, hey, if these Chinese names are going to be led by Pinduoduo, and I think Pinduoduo is going to come down, but I couldn't find out where. I just wanted to short. So we got knocked out of our short early, but then we gained some revenge on this to the point where we are positive, obviously, when you're looking at this chart on the stock. So short, a big short here at 64.20, took it out 63.80, that's 40 cents. Our loss here, that's a 64, that's a 64.25, and then these outs are 40s and 50s. So that's 40 cents, right? So we take 40 cents there, then we take another, that's about $1. No, sorry, that's 80 or 90 cents, and that's $1 right there. Got out of a piece as we broke back above. And right now I'm still trying to hold some short into the 63.50. So still short here on JD. And yeah, thinking about it's going to come back down. But if you have any Jack and Coke, you might want to pour some while you watch this, because right now it's not doing anything here at the top side. And I think you got to wait at least for 64 if you're going to reshort it. But this 63.50 level, again, watch PDD, watch them together, and then just trade them like that. That would be my advice. Because we're on this, I already made fun of, and not made fun of, because there's some people trading them, but like Li Auto and XPeng and just sort of the destruction that's happened in those stocks. I didn't even realize XPeng was $18 in basically getting ready to break down again off some of these levels. NEO looks like the healthiest of all of those autos, in my opinion anyways, so it's really held out pretty well. So if I'm going to talk about Chinese names and putting some money to work, again, California is banning combustible engines by 2035, no more sales of those. So I feel like, with NEO coming back into the States, being able to sell their vehicles in North America, this is a name that I like. I like this name moving forward. They're producing cars, at a nice pace. And I'm not recommending buying this. I don't think that at all. I just think that out of all of the EV names on the Chinese side, NEO's really held up the best. So I would think that any more of a dip down into 17 or 18 here, I think you got a pretty decent one. Better than the rest is what I'm getting at. But yeah, PDD, what a big runner today. And you knew it was going to go down at some point. I mean, the momentum's going to have to die off. But very, very surprised that it lasted that long, all the way up to 72? That was
yuck.
That was pretty wild.
Pretty big run up here, guys, this afternoon for Rumble, or CFVI. I guess it's not actually Rumble yet, still the SPAC, but just took out day highs there, 1155. They've been very active all day on Twitter, talking about updates and new product launches and things to come still for CFVI. Take away the Trump angle for this and DWAC angle for this. Big move here today, up 15% for Rumble.
I know, but it's like, when is it happening? Like, I don't know. It feels like this has been...
I don't understand these SPACs.
Yeah, it's been going on forever. Like, what's the delay? But yeah, so super strong move. It did just put in, not a death candle, but just put a little bit of a pullback in. And the last time it pulled back, this 1150 pullback dipped right into previous support. Well, it took out a couple of levels of support, but it was trended down for about 20 to 30 minutes and then got another leg up. So as I see it try to stair step up toward the $12 level, I kind of feel like it might pull into 1130 here, or maybe even a little bit lower than this. But the good news is, if you look at $11, you got the 200 period 1120, you have this previous, all kinds of chop when it was at $11 before. From there, hey, there's room on the daily chart to about 1250. So there's reason to believe this could actually still go, and the reason to believe that somewhere above $11, it's going to find some support. So I'd rather have it pull back in, kind of like what it did here at 130. Let it come back into this 11 quarter. That way, if you're playing it to 11, you're risking 20 to 30 cents and not 50 to 70 cents. So if it does pull up to 1250, the risk reward is a little bit better. So I'll be patient with CFVI, Rumble, I guess. I don't know, whatever. I'm just going to call it CFVI whenever that does happen. But I'd like it a little bit better down into VWAP there. And man, AMC, this is ridiculous. Like, AMC can't get past 960. It's the slowest break I've ever seen in my life. And I wanted to come back over to one other name. I am in a Pinterest short. I think we talked about this one in the morning show, but also last week, sort of finding some resistance at 25 and then at 24. And then I just wanted to be shorting 23. It broke 23 at the open, got to 23 quarter. Consolidated a bit, didn't take it there, but it popped up into 23, and I've been sitting in it ever since. With the market grinding higher, it's not doing a heck of a lot, but if we reject the top again, I think it's got a nice resistance level at 23 that I want to work off of. And you look at closing exactly at 23 even, essentially on Friday. I like that level. We'll continue to work that off Pinterest here at 23 even, as I hope AMC will go, but it's a frustrating break. It doesn't go out of the money, but it doesn't really want to go in the money. Bed Bath & Beyond also doesn't seem to want to pull back very far. So that 15 still could be coming. I thought that rejection of 14 pulls you back into 13 here, but it's not dropping at all. The buyer's still in control for now, Bed Bath & Beyond.
I tweeted something out last week when I made that Oxy call and someone took it there. And then today, what's up to Pokeroo here? And this just validates stuff that I'm doing, to be honest with you, to me anyways. Made 5K on the PDD put call at 72. So there it is. He got the, so September 2nd, 70 puts. So 70 cents closes at 170. So you put a little bit of money to work there. Good job. Thank you. Yeah, thank you too. Thank you for watching. I'm just glad that we're able to do that. And then he says, I showed you the way. This is the way. By the way, so on that one, so you can just thank yourself, man. You put the money down, and that's just great. And I'm happy when traders can make those kind of calls or make those kind of plays off some calls, and that's good. So we'll wait to see. Someone is playing with 50K shares on Amazon. Like, okay, let's see who that is. It ain't me. I'm not even looking at it right now. I just did cover though. What a good cover that was at 130.12. We'll hit the bang for that. I'm throwing down like 60, 70 cent winners here. Like, it's just. a hot hand at a dice game again. But we're just gonna keep on watching those plays. JD's $1 in the money. I still feel like. And again, I'm out, so I only have a quarter of this position left, 20% of this position left now. But looking at this level again, 130, 131. This is 130.80. We shorted it twice, and it was nice. So hopefully we can do it a third time again, and that will come back in for us on that one. Wow, Twilio, 52-week lows as I look. AMC, unfortunately, what I'm seeing on the screen is it hit a 52-week low today. So that kind of sucks, and we talked about that without having the viewership there at the theaters. Tough to make a little bit of money on that one. And then, we're back into Tesla. You might have saw me talk about that. That was a couple minutes ago, just before we went on the air, or just before we came on the air, just after we came on the air at 14:15. Oh my God, I wish it was 4:15 now. We're going out with Raheem Alani for some drinks, so that should be fun. But there it is right there, 285.50. Hopefully that ticks a little bit lower. We're getting close, and the reason why I call this up right now is you're right on the 50 period, and we've just topped out a bunch of times here at 286. So realistically, I'm going to give this one to 286.50, something like that up here, and then we'll see where that goes. So we're going to wait, but there's 286.50. I like that level. Hopefully it'll hold out. We're going to average in one more time to the upside, and then watch out for 287 break, I guess. I just, last time I got out was 287. I didn't give it all the way to 287.50, but I don't think I want to do that. So, if it comes back up, we'll try it. That was my last out there on Tesla. Still a pretty positive name, man. I mean, these hits are like 80 cents maybe, and then, these takes right here. This is multiple dollars. So Tesla's been a great trade for us today. We'll see if we can do another one now. I'm not bidding. I was going to say I saw an order in there, but it's that offer to get more short. 283.50 is kind of where I'm targeting. I mean, that would be $2. I think we could get that on Tesla. However, though, Tesla's not really moving that much. Like, it's kind of just hovering around trying to figure out what it wants to do. So Tesla right now on my mind, but not at the front of it.
Yeah, I'm starting to get Snowflake on my mind here because it's bouncing off VWAP, but I'm more interested in the fact that, you call it head and shoulders, whatever you want. You had the earnings, you had the big breakout of that 200 level, and then the rejection of the 200 level on Friday. You come in, put in the lower high, it's like 200 never happened, and then you try to break at the open, you get a classic failed break, wick off top, and then just flush right in, attempting to fill the gap. But what's interesting to me on that pullback, it was about 191 that it tried to get to, and that was just at 10 o'clock. It was that last-ditch effort to try to go upside, got to 191, rejected that price, and he got a 191 top in the afternoon. So I see that, and I say to myself, hey, 191 breaks, go long. There's a good chance, obviously 1260 on the NASDAQ is likely to be taken out or at least challenged when you're getting to that level, but I'll work it on the short. I think one thing that's happened in the afternoons recently, or maybe for a little while now, is if you find a good level, you don't want to only be playing it in one direction. If this does not break, well, then there's probably a short 91s into VWAP. Maybe you can get $1 out of it, maybe you can get $2 out of it time and time again. So I want to play this to the short side. The market does look like it's about to test back up to that 12.6 in the NASDAQ. We get to that high. I want to be short in front of 191 on Snowflake. I'll reverse long if the market takes out the top. Fair enough. I want to have some things that I like the long. It could, look, if Tesla could get there, but it's not really even pressing 86, let alone 88. But that could go. If I see Snowflake getting to 191, there's a good chance Tesla has probably gotten up to that 88 high that was so good this morning. So I'm going to get some orders out there on Snowflake. CFVI is still going to be front of the mind. It's starting to pull back. And Bryce said, well, it was just pulling back. It looked like it was breaking 1150. I'm sitting down there in front of 1130. This might have a 12 break on it as well. You can also look for those breakouts at highs of the day. So CFVI, Bed Bath & Beyond still trying to go there. AMC going sideways, but I want to add Snowflake to my list.
And PDD down to 67.50 right now and still trying to go down. I love that Snowflake name. I tried the longs on Friday as well, so hopefully that'll come out and print at some point. It's nice to finally, I can sit here and take a sip of water and not, be called, oh, man, they're burning their mouth off and stuff like that. Here today, that was a really fun Hot Wings challenge that we had on Friday. I hope a lot of you enjoyed that. We're looking to do more of that soon, so hopefully we can come up with something. Justin talked about some sort of a garlic pickle thing. We talked about that a little bit. I don't know what the deal is with the pickle. I don't know what that thing is. I liked what you suggested where we all throw a water balloon at each other. That could be fun.
That'd be hilarious.
I think that would be great. So
it's that spin the bottle thing where, I don't know if you guys have seen that I think it's on TikTok, but it looks pretty
You mentioned I hadn't seen it, but I think that'd be hilarious.
It just keeps showing up.
I hope it comes on me and I'll just... You get one, or you get to throw 5?
You get one.
Oh,
so like 5 people. You know what? I think some videos had more than 5 people. But yeah, you spin the bottle. Everyone's around there. There's one water balloon, and then whoever points to has to throw. Everyone else just takes off in the same direction, and you got to try to pelt them. Headshots obviously the best as far as I'm concerned. But like one person.
Guy's running away though.
They're running away.
Oh, you get the headshot. Yeah.
But you know what's stupid to me is like nobody serpentines. Like everyone just runs in a straight line. It's like all you got to do is like just do a little serpentine.
Jig, and get out of the way of that one.
Do something.
What the hell's the tortilla challenge? Okay,
Wait, what is the tortilla challenge?
Yeah, thanks for all that, guys. Yeah, we are going to do it. And people are already saying it was an instant hit.
What is the tortilla challenge, though? I'm curious.
I think someone made that up. I don't know. You guys should have an Indian food challenge. Okay. I actually.
Which is like how much we
my
can
wife makes great Indian food, and I love Indian food. So, like we were talking about at Prad's house there, he had tandoori chicken pizza. He had some different. Oh, Brennan just threw.
I'll win an eating contest.
Steak,
I'll tell you that right now. If it's just volume and speed, I'll win that contest.
Yeah, I know. You used to. Well, you said those stories where you had like 4. You had 4 Whoppers or something within like a matter of a couple minutes.
I had to finish
between a commercial break or something.
I had to finish it before the previews. But this was before
the previews.
But this was like back in the day before previews were like a half an hour long, man. Which is now it's just stupid. Like they're way too long now.
I had this discussion with a dad at the T-ball thing on the weekend, and it was like, you know. Now I get home at 11 and I'm like, wow, man, I had a late night.
11?
Like, wow, like 11. What am I even doing out that late now? You know, and it's like, and then before it was like you just started going out at 11 because I was telling him that because I was at the T-ball thing till about 6 and then Prad's thing started at 5. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to go to this barbecue, blah, blah, blah. Okay, hold on a second. I'll tell that story in a minute. Bed Bath & Beyond is now trying to take out these levels again. I'm trying to go long at 1430 if it breaks. So it actually just stopped pretty much at 1430. So I just noticing that these wicks higher. I think if we get a 1430 break, we probably go to this 1460. And then at that level, then it just starts to get leveled up. So I'll take this with an out of about, like I said, if that's going to try to target 30 cents plus, and then I think we have the upside. I don't want to give myself more than 30 cent shutdown on the trade. So, you know, maybe 14 break, then we'll get out. But now it's just doing the dance. So just want to give that quick update before we go over to Brendo.
Big move down in BlackBerry here, guys. On this note, their $600 million patent sale apparently kaput, not going to happen. This Third Eye Capital abandoning after they were unable to secure financing. So heavy volume downside here for BB.
It was literally doing nothing.
I was just going to say, like, how far do we think this thing's going to go?
It was essentially doing nothing before. The way I see it, it's only down 1%. It has this hard top at 610 on BlackBerry. And the other thing, too, is like, when in doubt, zoom out. First thing I looked at is where's the 50 period on the daily. Like you had the support at $6, which is held last week, and then the 50 period sitting right there at like 605, where we're essentially at right now. So if this shelf wants to go and we're holding below, I mean, I don't know if it breaks 6, like where should this thing be at? Like it has a low of like that $5 certainly can be in play, and maybe this is something that'll be even better tomorrow. But I always look at these like little shelf breaks, and you give me that news and a shot to short it off of those lows. I just grabbed 04s here on the news, so thank you, Brennan, for that. When you play flash news, like, look, you're almost never, unless you're trading the stock and you're sitting there with a stop order or you're an algo, you're probably not getting 10s. Let's be real for a second. But I can work it back into that 10 where everything fell apart, and I just started when it broke that shelf at 5. So it's beneath that 5, I'll be short. I'm not going to add to it at 6. I'd rather add to it coming back up here. But, I mean, that's a stock that's chart speaks for itself.
I'm laughing here because this is the reason, you know, you got to follow me on Twitter at tradertv, Sean. This is why we love our viewers for sure, man. What's up to Doom Merchant? If you're on here, man, you win for sure. This is. I remember you had to have watched the Hot Wings Challenge. So obviously, Doom, you're probably on here right now. So thanks for sending this over to me. And I just saw it as I was looking. I was actually looking on Twitter for BlackBerry there, but and this popped up. And I remember that Fahad was like, I feel nothing when we were talking about those Scoville units. And this is what it says. When you've been trading stocks for 3 years and the NASDAQ drops 4%, it's just like, no, nothing. Hold my beer. So that's pretty funny. So you win. There it is right there. Top of the bonnet to you. 250,000 Scoville units. 3% down in the NASDAQ.
Man.
Nah, he feels nothing on that one. So it's a big shout out to that. That was a real fun segment. So thank you so much if you are in the chat.
We were down more than that, too. That was the thing. Like,
yeah. He doesn't. For Fahad to feel pain in his account, the market's got to go down like 12 or 13% in one day.
When you run Veru, it doesn't mean,
The thing is, look, if the man was 20 years younger, he'd be getting ready to go in the NBA and all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this is a very, very confident man right now.
He could
so
ball.
He's ready to rock and roll.
Fahad can ball. I'm not taking anything away
from the
his.
stories we've heard. I mean, have you seen videos?
Look, I'm a believer. I'm a believer.
I'm a believer. I mean, I'm
a believer.
I'm a believer of this man from day one.
but-
I am team Fahad.
He bowled like 50 or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still believing in him. That's the thing. I'm not. I believe in everything that Fahad does. I mean, the man said that hot wing challenge would be absolutely nothing for him, and it was. You know, but it was. I mean, I kind of impressed myself, to be honest with you. Like, I was looking over there at Pratt.
Pratt.
and Pratt
He's not
was
here.
Yeah, he's not. Who knows where Pratt?
I was
goes.
about to
But,
just trash talk Pratt.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Like, I sort of was a little disappointed in him.
Oops. Oh, well,
the man was
damn it,
sweating
AMC.
after the 4,000 Scovilles, I'm pretty sure it was. Not only that, but remember, he was also cheating. He kept trying to taste it before the rest of us. Called him out on that like 4 times.
It was a simple instruction. By the way, my stop's at 940 on AMC. This thing doesn't want to go, man. I've gotten out a couple times here, but it can't break 60. So
Remember,
I'm just gonna get out.
52-week lows. So.
But it was bouncing off the 52-week low. That's why I kind of liked it. But it's Bed Bath & Beyond that's going. So if I get out of this, you got to be finding ways. Yeah, it's finding ways to get into Bed Bath & Beyond because you look at the strength. That's at least still there. And then that CFVI is making some moves last I checked. I don't know if Brennan... Yeah, we talked about this one, but it hasn't broken that high yet. There was that, and then there was also...
it's not even that great news. They're just releasing like new kind of like reels and things like that.
But it's up 15%, and it's at least showing strength, where AMC doesn't want to seem to go. And that RVPH is the other one that was from this morning. That's more leveling off than anything else. But, hey, holding VWAP here. The volume's dying down. But at this point, if the volume picks up and even gets going a little bit, your risk is to 250 for it to make a run at the high, and it's up 70%. So I don't want to ignore that one. But the real volume is in Bed Bath & Beyond right now, as that's continuing to hold up. Like, it's done over 100 million shares. Should get to like 130, 140, no problem. But also watch out for some rollovers happening. As I look and wait for Snowflake to go up, there is the other side of the coin here. I always type NASDAQ for Snowflake for some reason. I don't know why. But Snowflake... Instead of going up to this 191, it's now barcoding off of 189 as well. If it just wants to fall from here, if I can find something with a tight stop at 189, I might just try that one. It's down. It's obviously relatively weak, right? It's down 5% after that big move up, and it's trying to, sort of give a little bit of that back today. So I do want to favor this one to the short side as long as it's below 191, but it might just be right here at 189. I mean, there's room if it breaks 187, if the market falls, I can definitely see this start going to that downside. So I'm going to get an offer in there 189 or in front of 189 on Snowflake, just in case it wants to keep testing that top without breaking it.
All right, we're in it. I mean, Bed Bath & Beyond did break it. So, yeah, but it broke it and acted like it didn't, basically. So we'll wait, man. I mean, you know where my targets are up here at 60s. So we'll see if that can hit, man. If it breaks back down below like 14, give it some room, but breaks down back below there, we'll get out. This is not like a maximum position or anything by that stretch of the imagination. So trying to be a little careful with this trade, see where we go. But for right now, yeah, this is kind of what we're dealing with right now on Bed Bath & Beyond. It's my newest position, so I just want to talk about it. But it's not, like I said, a break at 247 in the afternoon. It's not as like sexy of a trade as obviously it would have been when there's, I mean, you know what? When it happened at 1, I guess I would say that wasn't like a sexy time in the market either, right? And so I don't know. I guess we just wait for this, see if we can be right instead of wrong. And there it goes. Now, this is what I'm saying. So here we go. Now we're breaking lower on this name. And yeah, it doesn't look very healthy. So Bed Bath & Beyond, it doesn't look like it even wants to give us that. I mean, I took the break and it didn't even go up since then. So a little bit lower than this and we're going to be out of this name. But Bed Bath & Beyond definitely putting some pain in right now to the downside.
Man, I wanted a dip buy in CFVI. It doesn't feel like it wants to happen. This thing is just slowly grinding higher there, as it looks like. But thank you very much. Thank you for the super chat. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. And I apologize for that. It's pretty quick going through. But top fund managers like Greg Jansen, CIO Bridgewater, predicting S&P could fall down by another 25%. What's our gut feeling of the S&P will fare the next 12 months? Well, interestingly enough, it was just this morning sort of going on saying you could maybe find as a day trader, you look for temporary reprieve. So I was looking at that 50 period on the daily for a temp bounce at like 400. But if the S&P is going to drop another 25%, you start talking about 320. I mean, hopefully, I don't know how long it's going to take for my chart to go back on the SPY here, but everyone else seems to be thinking about those June, like that June 360 low. Now you're talking another 10% down from there. That feels a little bit extreme. I think you take it one step at a time. 320, there we go. Now it wants to go all the way back. 320 is essentially just eyeballing our 2020 double bottom, right? Like that's almost like that last line in the sand. The way I would see it is, like if you're looking at dollar cost average on the SPY, which is not a bad idea, because hey, individual stock picking can be difficult, as most people know. I mean, once you break that 50 period, break that 50 period, you're likely headed to the 360. I almost don't care where it bounces. I'd be starting to buy it at that 360 level and then working and then just dollar cost average into 320. Nobody's predicting where, people are going to make calls. Nobody knows where the bottom is going to be. Do I think we're heading lower? I think clean rejection of the 200 period. We have more, I guess, pain to go. Maybe we get a bounce off the 50 and put in a lower high. Could it be 410? Could it be 420? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to bounce at 360 or bounce at 320, but I do think we're at least going to be testing and breaking that 50 period pretty soon on the SPY. But I just think you dollar cost average if you're looking for places to buy into it. First things first, let's worry about the level that's upcoming in the next couple of days, which is the 50 period moving average. I think when we crack through that, that's going to be a great day to be hammering shorts on that breakdown. We saw how violent things were when the 200 period got rejected. Like that was absolute gold. Like the moment we rejected that level, every single thing in the market was a short in the next few minutes, and it was just cascading to the downside. I remember it took like 30 seconds or a couple of minutes to register what had actually happened when you zoomed out and looked what we just rejected in the market. So I don't want that to happen to me. Like the second we get through that 50 period, I'll have the SPY up, set an alert, and then look for any short that you can in that moment. That's first things first for me.
I feel like good talk there. And again, thank you so much for the super chat. You have to always remember, and I'm not going to go over any levels, but I just think you have to remember what got us here. I mean, the CPI is still going to be ridiculous. That comes on September 13th. So if you are managing a lot of money or looking for a date that's going to be pretty key that you don't want to sleep in on, it's going to be that September 13th day. So that's when the next CPI reading is going to come out. And then we have the 21st of September when, and again, we can look at that. Maybe Brendan can have that up, but it's easy to find the CME tool. That was about 50-50. Now, obviously, I didn't even look at it on Friday. I mean, I don't know what it is today because that moved
75,
down.
I think.
Oh, is it back to 75% of 75?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
Okay. So I was going to say, because of that huge move down there on Friday, I think they probably will go 75, so that would make sense for that. But I would just say you got to wait. Like, if the CPI, if somehow that number somehow gets distorted or maybe, I don't know, it's not very truthful. I don't know what's going to happen. Then maybe you see a little bit of a relief rally, but I still feel like that number is going to be pretty high. Although gas prices around here is going down.
Way down.
I saw, not to keep talking about Brampton, but I saw 147.9, which is like...
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, wow, that was pretty good. It's
yeah.
like 151.9 or something around here, and that's per liter, obviously not per gallon, but... and there's about 4-ish gallons per liter, and then you have to take it, I mean, whatever, this US dollar,
yeah.
All that stuff, Canadian dollar not worth as much. All right, so just a quick review here of some of the positions we have. All right, so Tesla, I'm still holding the net short on this name because I still think that this market wants to go down. The only problem is Tesla's not following those instructions right now. So, the market is below the 50 period, so is Tesla. It's very, very much barcoding right here this afternoon. Okay, I'll have to just talk about it, and there's a nice little move down here in the market and in Tesla. So, yeah, buddy, let's go, man. The net's starting to ramp up again. We're taking out the 50 period. That's $1 or so in the money right now. 50 cents in the money. If we could take down this number, it'll be about 70 cents. And there it is. Like, see what just happened there? Like, maddening. Like the market goes all the way down and it's like, we're going to break. And then now it's just right back to where I'm short again. So like we go 60 cents in the money to getting excited to right back here right now, watching this do absolutely nothing. So I don't know. This is, I I'd like to think the market's going to pick a direction. Not sure. JD, still in the money, $1 on this name. Off of that, still pretty light. Don't really want to take any new positions on this one. The name that I was excited about, we're still in that Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, that's still hovering around 14 bucks, and we're not out of that. I was looking at that BlackBerry thing, and this is the thing. It's a $600 million patent sale. Like, what are these guys even worth? Like, how much is that even, like 600 million? Let's just say it doesn't get done, okay? I mean, they have good, apparently, they have good patents, good technology. Like,
it's only a $3 billion company.
Okay, yeah, so I was gonna say, if
They
they
ain't worth that much.
but 600 million, I mean, just because they're not able to sell it doesn't mean they can't sell it at another point.
They might be able to sell it.
And I mean, 600 on to 3.7, I mean, it's not, like, no wonder why, I was just going to say, no wonder why, sometimes you got to dig a little deeper, no wonder why that move really was comical, you know, at best. I mean, it just took down the day's low and only went like 4 more cents. So I don't know, man, that's a tricky name to trade. What's up, Brendan?
Neil, you were asking about this CABA. There was a trial data release that came out that missed, apparently. That was just out, I guess it was just before we came on at 2 o'clock. So straight downside ever since then for CABA on that.
Yeah, they missed everything, man. Like, that's not like just a little outside. And that's always going to be the risk. Without even looking, whenever you have any kind of a bio firm, it's likely like single drug dependent, or like no pipeline. The pipeline probably consists of one project. That's the risk. Like, you get halved, essentially, when you get that one little misser. It's catching a bounce. What's interesting to me, it's catching a bounce off a buck, which that's always a psychological level every single time it gets down there. Bounce off 110 to be a little bit more precise. But the other side of that coin is, yeah, it bounced in a liquidity vacuum. It bounces almost exactly when you go to the daily chart where you'd hope it would, which is right down at 110. I think that could be a little bit of a level. But if it bounces higher, I'm looking at 140. That's your 50 period. I go to the 15 because I actually traded this last week longs on this thing when it was up at $2. Well, longing it when it was 160. But yeah, if it actually holds 150, 130, 140, any one of those levels on any kind of a bounce, I'd look to be able to fade. It's certainly moving a heck of a lot more than I almost said Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh, I got stopped out of that one, actually.
No, I meant BlackBerry. It's
BlackBerry.
BB. I do this with Alibaba and Bed Bath & Beyond. It's like it begins with a B, and I just sort of say the other name. Like, but Bed Bath & Beyond, it got back up to that 610 area. Well, it got to 613, put the reload on. I just feel like if it manages to hold above 13 even, like that actual top, when the news came out, fair enough. If it gets back to the low of the day, we'll take that to the downside. But this CABA, or I'm assuming that's how it's called, CABA, much bigger move. Clearly the news, like that's, you know, you're going to miss a trial for what's likely the only drug in your pipeline. Not going to be a good sign. And this was booming just last week. We were trading it to the long side. I think anything to the 130 or to the 140 on a pop, I'd like to be fading on CABA. I should probably check to see if I have to pay for locates on this.
All right, so let's just figure out if we want to hit a double, a triple, a home run, or whatever. Because like right now we have like a double maybe. Tesla's now $1. Bang. In the money. A lot of people would take this. I am maybe going to be one of those people. I mean, we've bounced around here all afternoon. We are starting to now take out, you know, sort of the afternoon bottom right now. What time is it? We're almost into power hour, so all good on that one. Yeah, just looking here at some of these plays, like where are we? What to expect here for some of these. So let's just continue to sort of, think about this. The market, if it takes it down, how much further do we even go right now? There was a good question in the chat there, and I want to show you out. Like, do I think it's going to be up or down? It's Steve G. What are my thoughts the rest of the week? Like, I mean, that's. Look at this here. We have 50 cents in the money now on Amazon, as that's pretty good. The net's starting to go. I didn't even realize this Bed Bath & Beyond hit because as this was coming down in, all these other shorts started going up, so we don't take that big of a hit. Like I said, not a lot of money there on Bed Bath & Beyond, but we did lose that 40 cents or 30 cents on that takedown of 14, so that sucks. But here comes the market down in $1 in the money, so for Tesla. But what I was getting at with the market is, I'm really surprised that we even ran back to almost positive today, and we had a few bumps. So that means there's buyers on the sidelines that I really didn't think were there. I'm thinking that we could have a green rest of the week. I feel like tomorrow's going to be another pain day, and then something good's going to have to happen. And then when that is the case, I'm looking at this Tesla. If there's a good report that comes out, I think there's enough sideline money to buy dips. I mean, there's a lot of people that I hear want to be buying dips right now. So, we saw that a little bit this morning with the NASDAQ as we made that huge move down. No one really stopped it. But then once people were somewhat convinced that there was a bottom, you could see it get bought right back up. And then there it is right there. So I think that's right. We weren't sitting here, but the NASDAQ did.
It touched.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it went positive. I don't think it would have, but pretty darn close. And then now here you go back in. So I'm feeling like there are some buyers once you could develop some levels. So for me, I think there are buyers on the sideline. So the rest of the week, I still think negative, but maybe not as bad as some of you might be thinking.
I don't know. I feel like you should just say damn when you forget about darn.
Why did I take
and all of a sudden I go from like 191 in Snowflake, and you see it roll over at 191. I'm like, okay, we'll wait around for 180, and then it decides it wants to break the channel on the downside. So look at Snow. It breaks the channel down, 187.50. I'm like, okay, let's see if we can't play that one and work it back into resistance. And look, I'm talking like it's going crazy. It just got back up to VWAP, and it still has that resistance at 89s. And I'll probably roll into it if it fails more at 189 even. But I am looking for shorts, and the market is still trying to go green. I keep showing you the NASDAQ, but it is worth making a mention here. Like the ES, it's only down 0.17, and has been grinding back toward that high. So yes, lower high, but it has been a very strong upward trend. Like if you look at it, it's an upward trend in the ES. Going into what I think, sometimes it's a bit of a slow week because it's before Labor Day, and that's why I always tell myself, okay, if it's going to be a slower type of week, I think breaking highs is a little bit more challenging. Breaking out of a range is going to be a little bit more challenging. So I want something which is relatively weak, and I want to try to short it. For something long in the market, I keep looking for a big cap name that I like to the long side, that's showing some relative strength, and I'm not really coming up with a heck of a lot, to be honest with you. That's why I like a lot of these shorts. Bed Bath & Beyond, I still believe that one has that chance because it's still trending pretty nicely. It's how to get into a long. I think you're at least risking to 13.50 if you're trying to hold it for the high of the day, if not to 13 even, which makes it tricky to short the 14. Go long at 14. Because if you go long 14, you might be risking $1 to get to that 15 level. And that's why I've been hoping we can pull back into 13 even. But at some point, it just doesn't happen for you, and you have to look for something else. I might not be able to get into this one.
And I didn't want to interrupt, but what the hell just happened? I mean, we were just cruising to the downside, and I'm like, should I take this out for Tesla? And this is what I mean. You sort of, and now I'm going to get stopped out probably, honestly, on the way back down here. On the way back up. So I took another short. I mean, there has to be something that just came out. I don't know what it is. But that was a pretty big move there. I was just Steve G. Honestly, I have this crystal ball or this 8-ball here. I don't know. It almost feels like Tony went in there and bought this market. That just took off, right? When I just said, I feel like there's money on the sidelines. I don't know. I mean, the market just absolutely took off. So yeah, I need to be a little more disciplined with my own trades there because, and thanks for asking the question. At least it made me think about it. But wow, what the, this just went absolutely nuts. There has to be something. I mean, that's just what it is at this point. There goes Amazon 130.82 back up to the upside. I just got out of my position, so I'm going to get out of everything now and just wait to hear what this news is because there it is, man. This is a monster move to the upside, honestly, and I was not a monster move, but it's the biggest move all day that just happened. I mean, maybe sans this move right here in the pre-market as we went up to, 10:15 there when we went up to the top. But this is this is a very, very big move back up here, taking away the whole afternoon and going right back to the highs. So wow, this move right here catching me off guard.
Yeah, definitely. If I don't know, if it's not news. I mean, Apple bounced exactly off of.
There goes Tesla.
Yeah, it bounced exactly off this 161.50. It had put in a bottom there at VWAP previous of 130 or so, and it touched that level and then just ran away from it to the upside. So maybe it has something to do with Apple. Maybe it has something to do with just a little bit of a technical bounce. I'm not really seeing any one of these like the ES or the NASDAQ hit like a major moving average or something. But yeah, certainly Apple got to a decent level. And if we're going to be looking at 161.50, I tried to play the same level in the morning. I went 62 long in front of the same level, and it chewed through that like a hot knife through butter. Now in the afternoon, it's held it 3 times. So maybe I should be going back over to that well. I'm looking for something that's strong for potential long, and it's not like it's relatively strong. It's down 0.8%, but it's holding VWAP. There's some buyers in there at that 161.50. So yeah, you've got me on the bid again. I did it before. I'll try it again on Apple here to see if it can show a little bit of strength. I don't know. I haven't even looked at Microsoft at any point today, but anytime I see a move like that, I just want to confirm, like, okay, so double bottom also got made. Microsoft at the same time ran into a bit of a resistance level, or support level, I should say, and then bounced up from that. If that can hold VWAP, that looks pretty interesting. I just got into that Kaba, I don't know what we're going to be calling it here, but I said I'd play 3 levels on the way back up. First one, 130, so I just grabbed the 28 short. If it breaks that, I look to 140 and then to 150. But each of these, this is like post move, consolidation, play it to the low. If it gets to $1, try the long on $1. Like, I'm not trying to risk 20 cents or anything here. Like, I'm going to get out if it breaks 130. I only like the long if it's off of that low. So I don't want to be diddling in the middle. I'll play the short off this little high that it's made since the consolidation. Otherwise, wait around. I won't play a breakout long at 130 either, because the news is still bad in my opinion.
I mean, how about that call on oil? I mean, oil right now, $97. We talked about that down there at 85, 86, 87 with Daniel Shea when we talked about liking that one. All right, so Tesla did get taken out on the top, but we got right back in because I was like, I don't know what that news was when we didn't have anything from Brendan and there's nobody on the chat talking about this. And you guys are talking about, like, technical levels. Okay.
That's all I saw.
I mean, yeah, not you. I'm just saying, like, in general, like, I mean, if that's what it is, then that's what it is. I mean, I feel like I see these kind of levels all the time. But anyways, another bounce off 12,520. I mean, what's the technical level here? I mean, just maybe this bottom, maybe. But that's, that's just such a big move up. That really felt like news on volume too. So maybe there is something brewing there right now in the market. So I'm gonna be a little cautious with some of these shorts, but we did get back in. So now we're short on Tesla, and then I punched back into the short on Amazon just to see, like, again, I don't know why that move came through. If Amazon just comes back a little bit here, I mean, we're short right now at 75. My out's going to be this 131 wick high. So it just has to fall down. Even if it just takes a sneeze or something, we can get 25 cents. So I think we can get this, especially if it does pull back. But here comes Brendan, who we want to hear from.
Yeah, keep my eye out, guys. Nothing enormous yet that would be market moving, but all the little ones starting to go here as well. NERV just popped up on a volume scan as well. Came back to 12 and just ripped up $1 there. So back to 24% for this nerve as well.
Thank you. Run away, Katrine.
Why?
I mentioned to Katrine if I could
She
grab a
literally
coffee,
ran
and I
away.
didn't even see if she. I mean, she must have asked about you. My bad.
See, but I drink out of the Trader TV.
Oh, it's a
mug,
$5
man.
charge. I just realized. Darn it! I should have negotiated. Maybe she'll take $3.50. There's the market back down there. We just took. I mean, there it is right there. Let's just go boom, because we got stopped out of 20% of our Amazon and then reloaded the whole thing, and it just came right back down. So thanks for that move up, market. To be honest with you, and then there it is. We just take some profit and able to make money. The bad part was our Tesla, but that's okay. We're gonna. You know what? I'm gonna cancel these bids because I think we can get, hopefully this will come back down and we'll be smart about it and this time get out right here instead of having to get ticked out like that on that market move. But okay, that's that. So far so good. We did not get hurt on that other than getting out of our Tesla and then right back in. We're actually in at a better price than we got out. So if this market continues, yes sir, here it comes, falling right back in. Like that's the thing, when we see that kind of move to the upside, I kind of just wait. I mean, I didn't think there was anything. I look at similar news sources. Obviously, Brendan has all the tools, but we're still always looking, following different accounts and whatnot. And I didn't see anything that sparked that. So right back into the short, a pretty easy play to the point where, we just got out there 55 off of a 75 short there for Amazon. So 20 cents quickly there. And we'll see if it wants to come back in. But, sometimes when there's, I'm going to get out another piece here because I'm talking myself into this. Sometimes when there's, there you go, take it another piece. Sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. So I want to start to get out, obviously pretty appreciative of this move back down, but let's not look, as Neil says, gift horses in the mouth. Like
No,
that move,
hell no.
That move came from nowhere.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, it did give you the opportunity. I haven't hit that in a while, so I don't care. I'll hit it now. Look, that move came out of nowhere, but, you know, I liked 189 for resistance on Snowflake. So the way I look at it, if the market spikes up on you like that, it kind of comes down to, did it break the reason for being in the trade? Is that still valid? Snowflake was still below the level I liked, so that meant, okay, we'll add on that little bit of a pop. But if it wants to hold the range, make sure you pay yourself out something when it comes right back to the low, because that's what happened. It just bounced up, went to the resistance, came right back into the channel. So I got some out there in Snowflake, and I'm going to continue to try to hold it through these lows. If the market wants to reject this, fair enough. Now what it looks like all it looks like now is just another failure at 12.6, because I got another wick top on the NASDAQ, which makes I don't know, at least 3 or 4 of those bad boys at 12.6, and this time it didn't even touch that level. So we'll see if we can't continue to work some of these shorts. If it comes back in, we'll have to rinse and repeat over and over again. Kaba, first shot, we'll lose 3 pennies on it because I went 28s. Oh goodness, that's a NASDAQ stock. Let's go. I went 28s and then made a wick top. So it did break. I didn't want to reverse long because I still think it's going to be a weak one. And of course, once it ran some of those stops, and now it wants to head back into those lows. The alternative would be not having a stop, which if I'm shorting at the bottom, yeah, I don't care how weak the stock is, I'm always going to have a bit of a stop there. You want to make sure that you don't get absolutely burned, because if you get caught in something at those lows, it can get out of hand in an absolute hurry. Just coming back over to Bed Bath & Beyond, because I don't want to sleep on this. Enter twice. It's now starting to look like if you can see, it just rejected 14 a couple times, some lower highs. It feels like it's about to do one of those little candles where it gives you that little bit of a dip. And the last time it did this at 13 bucks, it had one candle, big volume, down to 1303 or something like that, and then just shot right back up. So that could be a pretty quick trade, where if it does pull back and you're looking to buy in front of VWAP, you're going to get one quick shot at it. So I want to make sure I have that level 2 up, so I'm locked and loaded and ready to go. I see a lot of people I am going to Dallas this week, and everyone's like, yeah, what are you going to be doing? I'm visiting a friend. I am going to be at the rodeo one of those days in Fort Worth. But outside of that, not a ton of plans. So if you have any ideas of what is cool in Dallas, I'm game, man. My wife's got she's got her boots. She's locked and loaded, ready to go. I don't know if I'll have them. I'm not a cowboy hat kind of guy, but I'll tell you this much. I've only been once. Whether you're into that sort of thing or horses, the rodeo is a boatload of fun. My daughter's going to lose her damn mind when she sees the horses, that's for sure. She'll probably ask for a pony. It's not going to happen.
Oh man, yeah, there were some videos. My kids wanted to bring home chickens this weekend. They literally wanted all of the animals, no. So I'm not having. Although it is, you can in my district, I guess, now have chicken coos. But I'm not down with that.
Yeah?
Yeah. You can
I don't think you're allowed in.
The wife kind of wants to do that, but I'm like, no, I'm not cleaning up.
My sister-in-law, they do it.
Yeah,
but they're out in Guelph,
nothing,
so it's like Guelph. You can probably have anything in Guelph.
Oh yeah, you can literally have anything in Guelph, but that's the Green Party actually there. So there's they represent Guelph there quite well. Okay, just quickly there, maybe Brendan has something. What's up?
Just watching some of the volume leaders right now. This one popped up, Tellurian, Tell. Natural gas, it's worth noting, doing nothing all day today. But Tell, here, I'll show you in a sec, down on this and offering warrants of and stock coming through for them. So 12% to the downside here. Struggling with 4. There was a volume spike back downside for Tell.
I could be convinced to buy this thing at $3. It's an interesting, I don't know why my daily chart doesn't want to pull back any further, so I can't really show you. I really can't show you more, but it's had this trouble at $5, certainly, and then the offering's obviously not going to help. But a lot of times you hold those higher lows. It's a good nat gas play. They got a veteran running the company there. I'm going to get out of Bed Bath & Beyond. Oh, I did it again. BlackBerry. I see 2 Bs, and it's always the stock that you trade more that's going to come to my mind, and there's nothing I can do about it. There we go. So I wanted to take that try off that 6 level. I might come back to this tomorrow if it wants to break that shelf at 6 even, but it did the snap news, a short it beneath the price, but once it goes back to where it was and tries to break, I'm going to give it up. I like the opportunity for this getting back below $6 at some point. I think there's a run to 5, but the market is kind of trending back upside. And I like momentum plays. Whenever it's going to be a shelf break, we'll take a quick look at it, but a bit of a nothing burger, unfortunately. And as I was sort of saying, Snowflake starting to go back to the downside, take some profit out, thankfully, because it's coming right back up. So Snowflake, I'll go to the 3 because it's hard to tell on the 15. Right back into VWAP. I'm going to rinse and repeat because clearly the entry is much better off of 189 here and shorting in front of that and allowing 189 to break and then work it to the lows instead of trying to take the break of the bottom. That's the problem with breakouts or breakdowns. If the market doesn't want to do anything, well, you're just going to get chopped up. So why not sort of sit in the middle? I know if 189 goes, then it's entering new territory for the last hour and a half, and then a real move is likely coming. So I'll get back into that one. I haven't gotten into Tesla, but I did want to go over to a chip name, NVIDIA. Hit enter twice, as that's getting off the bid as well. So here's something a little more interesting. It probably needs to break 160. It looks like 160.50, get above VWAP, but this has gotten crushed the last couple of, everyone knows it's been getting crushed the last couple of sessions. I just finally got into Tesla, by the way, off of 287. But NVIDIA getting absolutely crushed the last couple of sessions. It's trying to make a fresh low and then make a higher low and try to break out 168.50, which incidentally was a tiny bit of resistance in the pre-market. So watch out for NVIDIA here. I haven't checked out AMD, usually trade a bit more NVIDIA, but I'm now into Tesla. Still looking for anything to the short side as we're trying to take out those highs. So as long as we're not breaking the highs, anything into resistance, and that's been the resistance up here around that 88 level, I still like those shorts. They're all valid until we break resistance.
Yeah, we got, so Amazon took down 131. I said that when there was smoke, there's fire. So we're actually able to get out of some of it, which wasn't that bad. We did average it in and then took a 10-cent hit on that. And then there goes Tesla back up, breaking through 287. So we shorted that, 286.50 out. Again, just give some back here on Tesla on these moves up. So I don't know, man, maybe the market, we talked about my opinion on the market. I said there's buyers out there and it looks like they're coming back in right now. It's 314. I think the NASDAQ can turn green today, to be honest with you. I mean, the way it's moving, it's not like a crazy call. It's only 0.3. I feel like we can get there, and I feel like we probably will get there. So on that note, Netflix just pulled back. I was going to say, I actually don't mind some of these Netflix buys down here. I mean, this is coming into 227. We can give this thing worth about 50 cents worth of room. I think we might do that. Unless, it's a strong name. It's up today. I mean, are we going to try to take some profits on this maybe? I don't know. So I'm going to try it here on Netflix and see if we can give this one a go. So Netflix down here, if we can get long, which we should, just one little tick down. We're waiting here at 227. We should be able to get something there, and then we'll wait to see where it wants to go from there. But I don't mind Netflix. It's a strong name. Look what it's doing. If you just take a daily breakout, this, not daily, but it's for today, this 227.30 looks pretty juicy there. We were on the bid down here at 227. It looks like it just missed us, but that's probably worth a take right there to go long, period, on this name. So watch out for Netflix trying to go upside again. So there it is. We take out the top break right there. I would have liked to get an averaged in price on Netflix down there, but unfortunately we missed that bottom take of 227. Now we just got to punch the top. So there's my automatic, that was automatically sent out there. I put it in on a day on that break here of this channel. We wanted to go long on Netflix. So that's what we did. And it just went up to 70 there, and we're long at 43. So just some spots. That set, right where it stopped, maybe coincidence or not, but it almost stops right at that level. So 227.70, 227.75 is going to be my first spot to get a little piece out here on Netflix. And then we'll just see if the ride is real and it wants to keep going up. Funny, I'm long this name, and I just said I wasn't impressed with their announcement today, but here it comes pulling back in a little bit, so it takes out the high. This is fine. This is what you have to do in the midday here. Well, not the midday, but it feels like it's trading like that. We're pretty choppy right now, so you're going to have to let your trades breathe a little bit here. So we'll try to give this to Netflix a little bit, see if we can get a piece out, and then hold the rest in case this move is real back. We just talked about it at 0.3 that I said it could get positive. We're getting closer and closer here. Let's see if the NASDAQ does truly want to go back up.
Yes. Breathe. 1 into the 2, 2 into the 3. 3 into the 4, and then you've got to breathe. That's the FABOLOUS, and I'm a little surprised, but I shouldn't be surprised at this, but Boeing, strong today, up 1%. I was sort of looking at my quote board. I'm like, what's actually strong in the market? So I don't have to look for longs and things that are down like 3, 4, 5%. But up 1% on the day. Friday afternoon resistance 167, double top 167, Boeing long 167 if it breaks. If the market wants to take out this high, give me something that's up. We always like buying strength more than we like buying weakness. I think that's not exactly rocket science. There you go. That's That was kind of a thing for Boeing, right? Like rocket science, they do, they're involved in the aerospace a little bit there. But 167, I'll take this break if we can get it on Boeing, up that 1% there. And it's more the fact that not just the high here today, but also that Friday resistance at that 167. But I keep talking about don't look gift horses in the mouth. Go back to my 3 on Snowflake. Reload in front of 189 and get on the bid in front of 187. Because if you're not breaking higher and you're not breaking lower, then you better be profiting inside of the range. So every time it gets back below that VWAP, we're going to keep getting on that bid here. I still think if we do break the 187, we'll get 86s, maybe 85s if things get completely out of hand. But it doesn't feel like that's going to happen right now. You're playing inside of the range, and you got to be able to take that profit if you can get. But at least I found something that I like for a breakout that's a big cap. Boeing for now. It doesn't mean it has to go. But certainly it's going to be on that list. I'm only noting this name because $10. So CCL closed at $9.97 on Friday. Broke 10 for about, like 30 seconds this morning. It's probably closer to a couple of minutes, but had some trouble getting through that level. $10, I love it for a psychological level. If I see 10 today or tomorrow, I'm definitely going to be, whether it's breaking $10 or shorting in front of $10, I can't see this where you close and then reject it and not want to play that level on Carnival. Carnival's usually too good around levels like that. Not a ton of volume today, but one that's going to be on the radar. And we'll do a little bit of this for Snowflake. Thank you very much. Rinse and repeat over and over again. Just keep going back to that well. As many times as I want to give it to you, you keep hitting these highs and you keep rejecting them, so we'll keep shorting them. This is the only one that's moving. I'm in a Pinterest short that is sitting here testing $23 and not wanting to actually break above it. It also doesn't want to fall. So that's a nothing burger for me. Tesla right at 87, doesn't want to break 88, doesn't want to come down to 86, whereas I'm actually getting movement out of Snowflake. So it looks like I'll be sticking with Snowflake and rinsing, repeating that. Can't even get Tesla either off the high or pulling back into 86.
Yeah, and here comes the market pulling back in again for Netflix. So, I mean, we got our 227, obviously, and now it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get anything else because it's not. These ranges, honestly, like, this is the one thing that I've learned is, like, we're going to take our bigger positions, obviously, while the market's moving around. I mean, and right now, it's like, I like to think that the market's moving, but I feel like you got to play some of these ranges as, like, when they hit those ranges, that you go short or long, like on those ticks. Don't like play in the middle where we are right now. Like now I'm going to wind up losing here on that. I'm going to get a half right now if it breaks back down below, but we're just at the 50 period here for Netflix. So, like this is just called getting jiggled out, basically. I mean, if you had a little bit of a longer time frame than we have, then I guess you could stay in these. We got to be out of these trades by 4 o'clock. So it's just like if the move wants to continue down, then there has to be some spots that I have to get out of. And of course, if we were trading, like I keep saying, in the middle of the day, oh, there we go. We just got out of some Netflix there. If this was early, then we have a lot of time to still, develop our ranges and like say, okay, this name doesn't want to go up or it does want to go up or whatever. So, right there, we get out of a piece of Netflix. We don't have very much left. And now I just got to wait for this 50 level. When that breaks, we're out again. And it's just like I initially wanted to short in Tesla. We had it, got taken out, goes right back to that high. Maybe that, I think you shorted this. I think that was a good short there up at 287. But, again, like to me, they all kind of look the same. And then you get taken out. So you're going to have to wait for these like dramatic pushes. And that was definitely one right there on Tesla, right there, like pushed right back to the day high.
What were
so
you eating, man?
That was dramatic enough as it goes. Salad?
No.
What?
Was stew or
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see what it was for lunch.
I'm sitting here. I'm kind of looking at the trades, listening to Sean, and all I see is just Randy in front of me, like
Randy was
5 feet away, just.
Randy was killing that.
I'm always hungry, man. However, when the market comes back in, pay yourself. Tesla does come down to 286. I get some out in front of that bid, but I'll tell you, Snowflake comes to the downside. That's working in the money. I mean, Pinterest, look, it's trying to get to VWAP. This is like whatever, man. This is like the definition of not wanting to move. So if all I'm going to get is VWAP, I'm darn sure going to take it. I went over to look at Apple because every single dip, I'm like, is this going to come back into VWAP? No. Like we get to the highs and pull back. Apple just moved all of 20 cents back down.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like if there's a pullback strong enough to get Apple down here, I might not want this. Like, it's almost like Apple needs to break out, not fall back into VWAP, or I'll be catching a falling sword. I'm going to get away from that. You know, the shorts are working because we're not breaking those highs. I'll just go back to that well because it makes sense. Or if we break the highs, look for a breakout. Brendo?
On Tesla, this just coming through. Tesla with a proposed class action lawsuit in California over phantom braking issue. Apparently there's a bunch of people that have had the same issue. That was right there. So take from that what you will, but a minor note on Tesla.
A minor note.
Yeah, just a minor note there.
I mean, like anything that gives you a volume spike that's tradable is certainly worth paying attention to. I don't mean to ignore Bed Bath & Beyond, but you know, every time I think it's about, okay, look, it's consolidating, it's going to make that breakdown now, it's going to fall into VWAP. No, it just holds support and goes sideways. So, yeah, it's impressive that it's holding up 30% after failing at 15 and not really coming back that far, but it's also not doing anything. That's not fun at all, guys. Not fun at all. I see a lot of people talking about that AVCT, and I know it's a penny stock, but it's done a quarter billion, and it's actually up 100%. So, you know, I started out as a day trader, mostly trading penny stocks when I got profitable. So it was certainly a strategy that I liked. I felt like it would make a lot of sense, like the levels and the momentum was pretty clean a lot of times as well. And back then you could make money actually even getting a rebate as well. So lots of different ways that you could play these penny stocks. But this is a clean 25-cent break, right? Like doubling up from 13, clean 25 break. You look at this doesn't even want to load up my daily chart, but you sort of look at those psychological levels from here. Like 50 cents is a big one. If it dips from 35 after 25 break, you're thinking 30 cents as well. I love the fact that it's doing a ton of volume. I'd like it if it was, you know, going to press 1 billion shares. That's way better for a penny stock, but it's got good volume on it right now, and I'd look for maybe like 30 cents on a bit of a dip. It's not quite as liquid as I would expect for a 30-cent stock, but it's not that bad at all. And thank you, Pinky, for the super chat. How do you go long on days like today? All I was looking for today was shorts, and I didn't trust any longs. I'm relatively new to trading. I mean, I'll start with the long that I didn't have. Like the one thing to think about is Pinduoduo had big earnings, right? And it was positive earnings, and it gave you a technical break at a 65 level and then trended upside. But really, I mean, it ultimately eventually turned into a mother of all shorts when it got a little bit too far. But that's where you can start. You can start with something that's relatively strong. Like it was gapped up, it was not falling down, it was potentially breaking out on a higher time frame. When you pull up a 15-minute, or if you look at a daily chart, you can see it clearly breaking out and heading towards, you know, resistance and attempting to even break that resistance on the daily. Those are the kind of things that you can look for. I mean, when you were looking at almost everything else in big tech, all I saw was breaking through support, holding in front of resistance levels. There was not a lot to be bullish on, but Pinduoduo wasn't a bad place to start. And there were a few small cap names that showed strength this morning, which you could have some longs in. But yeah, try to find something with a positive catalyst, which is showing you the strength ahead of time. Brendo?
Sitting here watching this volume bar growing by the minute here on BBIG. Just took out day highs there and then some, back to 110. Not a huge mover, obviously, today. There was a couple of headlines floating around, but big time volume coming in here for Vinco Ventures.
Because of
yeah. We talked about Vinco Ventures earlier, trying to respect that $1 level. So let's go over there and have a quick look.
I should have.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't do anything, so I didn't even bother bidding it.
It's not doing anything today. Well, I mean, off open. Oh, sorry, that's the other day. That's Friday. Off open today. Yeah, so 99 up to. Yeah, I mean, good.
It would have worked.
We talked about this earlier. It's on our watch list, and I mean, we talked about it breaking $1, trying to hold the dollar, and then you get some upside from that point. So, yeah, I mean, if you did it, good. Up to $1.08. Remember, this was the name that spun off that Tide. So,
Tide.
You know, they went away for a while there, came back, and then now its high was $2. I mean, look at that level there. Wait till this stock gets. I'd hope, for those of you that are long this name, obviously, that this stock can get back to that level. So watch out for that level coming through. Again, $2 would be a great short, I'd think. Also an area that it may want to get back to. So yeah, this is not a horrible risk to reward, although that bottom 75, don't know if that's going to hold or not, but still, nice little move. $1 up to $2 could be something there on Vinco Ventures.
Yeah, should have just bid it. Like the thing about that trade is I understand for a lot of people, you're like, yeah, but why would you buy it at $1.101 to make 105 to 110? But if your risk is to 99 cents, you know, for us, it's just like sit on the bid, you get the fill. If it doesn't move, fine. You're only risking a couple of pennies, and then you're 2 to 1, 3 to 1. Nerve made a an attempt to get above VWAP. It failed, and it's right back to this 1160 levels. Look, if 1170. If NERV breaks 1170, I mean, I'm not sure where the bottom is going to be. Maybe it's 11, maybe it's 1050, maybe back into these levels from the morning. But if it can manage to hold it, there's room into VWAP. The volume's not fantastic, however. So anyone sort of looking at that name, I'd be watching out below here because it just failed VWAP in a hurry. Brendan brought us Bristol Myers earlier today, and I think it was, is it Pedram there who's been saying it's weak all day? Yeah, Bristol Myers has been weak all day long. Sort of the problem, even when the market pulls back like this and the name that's been selling off and already made its low, like the damage feels like it's been done in Bristol Myers. Like now the market rejects the high and this doesn't do anything because it's already made its move. It capitulated all morning and then it caught a bit of a bid. Now it's in the middle of the range. And this is exactly why we say don't diddle in the middle, because you fail to break the highs, stock down 6%, and it goes, what is that, 15 pennies to the downside? It's doing absolutely nothing. So yes, it's still weak, but just because it's still weak doesn't mean it has any more room to go. Like you pull up to 15 minutes, it just feels like a stock that doesn't normally move like this might just be done for the day. Maybe you have to look at it tomorrow for another potential move. If you're in the short, if you're in the short for the morning, there's not a lot of reason to get out until it breaks 67.50 if you're just holding on for dear life. But I can't see any reason to enter a trade in this. It's just not going anywhere for me. But if I was in the money in this, I'd just be holding with a trailing stop because you're so deep in the money. Why wouldn't you? If the market rolls over, congratulations. Snowflake doesn't want to roll over, so I keep getting more shares out at in front of that 186, 187 area. Doesn't want to break down, but if all we can get is this tight 188 range, that's still my 15. I'll go back to the 3. If that's all we can get, 188 into 187, then we'll have to just keep doing that over and over again because the market doesn't want to push one direction or the other. Brendo?
I just saw a note on Tyson Foods moving downside here. Apparently, Chinese authorities have blocked some imports going into China from TSN on a downtick there.
Okay, we can look at TSN quickly. I mean, you don't want anything blocked, especially going to and from China, I guess. Oh, still $78. Okay, so a nice little stock there for Tyson. Let's just see what it wants to do here. Come on, chart, load. Okay, here's the 1 minute chart. So a nice little move to the downside, just taking out the 200 period, taking out that high, I guess. But yeah, I mean, really? Sleepy, like no volume.
Tossing the Z's.
At all, so throwing down some Z's here. Was hoping that maybe there was some sort of a move there, but no on Tyson Foods, so nothing right there. If anything right now, I shorted AMD again, but what about Meta right now? I mean, it's down to 160. Like this was that level that we liked on the sticky note today, but here it is trying to break. Oh, we actually did break lower already today. So I missed this break lower, went to 159.50, and now you're trying to do it one more time. 150. Yeah, I mean 160. Ooh, this was a good name to short there as we hit some of those highs. And again, like right now, the shorts are looking good because things are starting to print to the downside again now. So, holding on to some of those plays. We got out of our Netflix there. We talked about that, breaking that 226.50 level. And then now look at Meta, just this one continuing to pour down as well. So this could be a good take. And like I said, if you're going to go short, I mean, we trusted AMD. We've been really shorting this one throughout the whole day, really, and there's another short. So I mean, I think like we trust this enough to short this 88.80. I guess we could put a bid, see if we get picked up around there for that, and at least take out 20 cents. But I feel like it's range trading. I saw Mike Crehan. What's up, my man? I'm actually wearing the Air Force One Dunks right now, so thank you for those. But that 86.80. You answered the question. Someone asked it. I think it was about. I think Neil talked about it. How do you go long in this market? And it's like scalp away and take relative strength. And I mean that's exactly what I've been doing today. So on that same note, it's like AMD short relative strength. It would be weakness in this example. The market pushing down. So that's where I think I got to start. I mean, look, it went to 85. Like I could have scalped that out there, didn't, and now look, it comes right back to the upside. So I feel like scalping is the answer to all of this right now. The market seems to be pretty choppy. I don't know if it knows a direction. I don't know which way it's going to go either. So I think scalping is the right way to do this. Pick a stock that's relatively weak or strong. Then when the market makes that little jiggle move there, go over, figure out the way, and then take that stock. Because honestly, like That's part of the toughest thing. I think right now you want to stick with names that you're comfortable with and or names that are having big moves. I mean, Bed Bath & Beyond really not doing anything. We got in on that top move and then got out when it broke 14. And then right now it's looking to take down this bottom. But like, is this really where you want to punch short? I'm going to say no. I think you'd want to be short up here near 14 to take advantage when it comes back down into this level again, right? So for me right now, taking these bar-coded breaks just haven't been working. They obviously work in the morning and not right now. Well, not obviously. Sometimes they work. But I'm going to sort of be hands-off a little bit, just trade some of these names. And what I mean by that too is AMD, just to give you guys an idea. I'm not adding to this position until we get back up to VWAP here, 89.40. So if it wants to go back to the upside, I don't have a big piece on now. We can get more shares up here and then to use one of these levels as our outs, not to like get more short in the middle just to get stopped out up here. So let's just keep on with that track, try to look for the best prices, and hopefully we'll stumble upon something.
Yeah, exactly. I think, well, there's this SNTG that Brendan just told me has a 1 million share float. Up 100%. I see everyone talking about it. It just made a break of $5. Big time, look, big volume candles here. That's the good thing about a breakout, right? Like the volume actually bigger now than it was at any point earlier on in the day when it was taking out some of these highs. But it's pretty thin, man. Like the spread, it's done 5 million shares, but the spread at any given moment is about 5 to 10 cents, and that's only if you look at like 100 lots for actual size. Sometimes it's 15 to 20 pennies on this. So it's volume can be a bit deceiving when you compare volume to actual liquidity on the level too. It can be a little bit spready. That's a term Randy likes to use. I'll show you guys what that actually means. Like you're not really seeing, for all the volume it's doing on a cheap stock, like where is the actual size? Like no one's even putting 1,000 lots in there unless you get a big move. And even then, sometimes it's away from the bid-ask. Like 10-cent spread will open up for size, it'll tighten back up, then it'll open. And what that'll mean is if it takes out a high, if you're short in front of it, you got slippage of sometimes 10, 15 pennies, which matters on a $5 stock. Like if you're taking a long or a short and your extra risk is an extra 5 or 10 cents, well, that's a lot to ask for. I don't usually like trading those to the short side. Like I'd rather be taking consolidation longs, like I guess you would have had at 4, and I'd be hoping for at 5. We are running out of time for that to work. I'm running out of time for Snowflake to fall any further. Still a New York stock here, Neil. There's that 187. It cannot seem to break this level. I'm bidding 186. Hopefully we can get that if the market continues to try to press a little bit lower. Tesla doesn't seem to want to break 280, 286 area here. I'm looking for 285 or VWAP. What the hell is that?
Hey, Greg, could you just, if you're not in position,
it's like this beeping sound that's going on. I'm like, I don't want to say the word. Like it feels like there's like a countdown, then all of a sudden something bad's gonna happen.
This dude either got to move his spot or put on some headset or something. For
Headphones,
that.
man.
There we go. There comes Gregory to the rescue. I mean, I don't want to touch the guy's computer in case.
It's like in the movie.
Which one? What are you trying to? What are we?
Like Dennis Hopper with the BOMB.
Bomb?
No, it's a Speed, man. It's
the movie Speed.
You're like, you know when you're like, it's like the end of the movie when they're like just trying to disable like the bomb. And it's always down to like 3 seconds. That's kind of what it sounds like you're running out of time. Doo-doo.
Yeah.
No,
it's you got to cut the green wire like right now. And
but it's a weird psychological thing.
Greg just cut the red wire. It sounds like it worked.
You hear that? It actually makes you. It's not that you get nervous. That's not the word. It makes you anxious. If I hear like a beep, like an alarm going off, it's just like for whatever reason it gets you like. You get anxious. It gets you a little bit anxious. Like it's an annoying thing to have to listen to because suddenly you get that weird like anxiety, like there is some kind of countdown that's happening, and you don't want to have that affect your trading. Like sometimes it's psychological, whatever. I don't want any kind of beeping going on like that. It's like
even in the midday show, it was. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, the guy can do it. It's fine, just. Sometimes it's like, what is that? Especially when we're doing this, it's like you gotta try to focus. Even Fahad was wondering what was happening.
Like, what the heck is that?
He was starting.
We should have like a
stream was blowing. I don't think they heard it. I don't think.
No, they didn't hear it. But in baseball, they have like kangaroo court. I don't know if you guys know the term. It's like you don't get the runner over. You don't with a runner at first. You don't cash him over. You make an error. You have to like pay to like a swear jar or something like that. We should have one of those, man. Like you make a crazy amount of noise, and then you get one of those. Like you get Prad talks a little too much smack. Kangaroo court.
I mean, they gotta be running out of money fast.
You make the high. You buy the high of the day. Got to put something in the jar. And now the market's breaking upside again. Brenda, what's going on?
ASTR, big mover right out of the gate this morning, if you remember, was very positive initially up to 120. We're back to 86. Down 8.5% now. There was a contract with Airbus announced this morning. Yeah, it was up 7.5 to now down 8.5 for Astrospace.
Ooh, yeah, there was that. Yeah. By the way, people did hear it. It is a tick indicator. Like you can hear the
it's all
futures.
good.
And
all good.
Look, it's whatever you need to listen to. When Sean and I started,
I just banned somebody on the chat.
we used to listen to a squawk on the trading floor when we started, where someone was literally reading out like real time, like the quotes on the futures, the bids and offers, and it was like listening to an auction the whole day long, and you just got used to it. But we haven't done that in so long that if I heard that now, it would probably freak me out. But yeah, a lot of traders used to like that because it would give you the sense of the momentum in the market as it was going, and as we're bouncing higher. I'll probably take one more reload around 87 on Tesla here, 338. I mean, if it gets closer to 350, maybe I don't do that reload, and I should have just taken this out when it got to 285.50 because follow through doesn't exist to the downside or to the upside in this market. You're not really getting the bigger moves. Like, where's the VWAP retracements? Not really seeing it, and Snowflake's going to do exactly the same thing. Where it bounces off 87. It's only at 88. It's not giving you this 189 again, but at some point I'm not reloading these trades anymore because we get too close to the close, and Pinterest has literally not moved. I'm just going to punch out of Pinterest. It hasn't.
I didn't realize it was 340.
It hasn't even moved in the last like 10 minutes. It's ridiculous. I got to get out of Pinterest. It's doing nothing.
All right. Yeah, I didn't even. This might be a good opportunity to just like review some of these trades here because I don't want to be too caught into these heading into the close. We do have the market on close orders coming up in 10 minutes. Like when you mentioned the time there, I was like, what? I just looked down there. I was having some fun on the chat there as well as we go. But okay, just talking about JD here. JD just hit the floor, and I, honestly, like. That the bodies hit the flow, right? I mean, this name just hit it, and it's now trying to bounce a little bit off of it. So, you know, this name for me is somewhat interesting. You know, we don't have many shares left, obviously, on this, but it's now $1.50 in the money and still looking to make moves. I'm hoping to the downside. Let's just check on PDD just to see if we got our streams crossed here. No, so that was just by itself. So, I don't know. Yeah, JD and PDD streams not crossing there, but it looks like it might have just been JD specific, right? So, pour out some JD here, but that move.
Yo, this AVCT is squeezing.
AVCT, okay.
That penny stock, it was at 38 cents, man. It just hit 50, and of course, I was looking for a dip buy, so I didn't pay for shorts. It goes right to that 50-cent level, 49.5. That gives me an idea for, not here on Friday, for Wednesday, I guess it'll have to be. I like some 50 cent. It goes up to 50 cents here and then pulls right back into 44. Like, there's your 10% move, but I did not pay for locates, so I couldn't jump on the offer because that's like 1 cent worth of risk to try and make 4 or 5. Like, that's a good risk to reward. You're just punching out if it breaks 50 even or like 50 half or something like that, but the move is come and gone. It's 340. I would have only paid for shorts for that initial push up to that 50-cent mark, but I was looking for a dip buy on this thing, and it just decided to break out the high. Yeah, I mean, AVCT, that's crazy. Like Brendan said, announcing this, whatever. It's got a 92 million float, but 92 million float, it's a penny stock, right? So that's, you know, it's done that 3x today on volume, and it's probably going to do it 4x by the close. But I should have had that. I should have been locked and loaded and ready. And the thing about this is, like, you guys were brought it to our attention. Brendan probably already mentioned it as well. And I didn't immediately go and price out the shorts. Like, it takes us, the day trade of the world, if it's not easy to borrow, it's like I go to a page and within about 20 seconds I can have the pay for short. I just didn't do it because I was too busy watching Snowflake and trying to scalp that and didn't actually think it was going to go that high and was looking for a consolidation or a dip buy. But sometimes just pay in case. I bet you would have cost like 1/3 of a cent per share. That trade's come and gone, and here comes Tesla right back up to those highs.
And this is what I mean. Look at the market just starting to go again. Like, you're not going to win here trying to take breakouts or anything like that. I'm probably just going to get out. I mean, look at the market starting to go back to the upside. We do have those market on close and balances. Did Brendan give us an update there? Not yet. So hopefully that'll come through and we'll be able to give it to you. But right now, nah, nothing. I see what you're saying there, Canary Wharf. The funny thing is that like we're like in the basement of like a condo. It's a business, but a condo building, so they do have to do fire alarm testing. And yeah, it sucks when that does happen. So thankfully for us, it's sort of been on the midday show.
It's always on the midday show.
That's kind of been happening.
Always.
So they have to do those tests. The fire alarms have to be tested. So sometimes you do hear that. We're not like immune to those tests that are a legal requirement. So sometimes you will hear those, and other times you'll hear little alerts like that and whatnot. So yeah, all is good, man. All is good. We're just having some fun here, and I hope that you guys are as well on the chat. So
Casey France, can I get this question?
Sure. I didn't see a
Casey
question.
just asked, did you guys start trading together at the same time? Not exactly the same time, although when you factor in how long it's been, it's close. But Sean and I went to high school together, went to university in the same town. When Sean graduated from Laurier, he started working at a prop floor, and I knew nothing about it until we were at a bar one time, and he's like, I trade stocks. I'm like, that sounds pretty cool. And so he took me out with the boys. They had a very good Friday, so I'm sitting there drinking with the guys on the floor on a Friday when everyone's buying rounds and everyone had a good day.
A good one, yeah.
So that's exactly how you get hooked on to trading, right? So I joined the next group. I think it was in the fall. So I want to feel like it was about a year apart. It's close enough. It was about.
Memory, I don't know.
I think you were 02. I would have been 03. And then we went from there. I've been trading ever since, like sitting next to each other for most of the time.
Was I really I was managing the floor after 1 year of trading?
It was it was. It was 03.
Maybe.
Because
Okay.
It was 03.
Wow. I don't even tell the story like that. I'm going to have to. It sounds better.
We're at the.
I thought I was trading for a couple years,
No,
and then
it
I
was 1
started
year.
hiring. But
no, because it was 1 year. It was
be a good
exactly
example,
1 year.
yeah.
And I can remember even as we were watching. When you told me about it, I forget where we were. We were watching the Leafs in the playoffs.
Right.
And Aki Berg, I'm like 99% sure, Aki Berg had a hell of a game that night.
Yeah,
he's a very terrible defenseman that played for the Leafs. Actually, no, he's not that bad. You make it to the league, you're good.
Right.
But he was like, he had a good game that night. And we talked about trading and we got into it. And then it was a Crocodile Rock that we guys went out to. I don't even know if that's a bar still. It was Croc Rock. That's also the bar we went to when I graduated. And I remember being on a table at one point, which was pretty cool that night. It was a fun night. When we have graduation parties, a little more tame now, but we had a heck of a lot more fun.
I don't know why they really got a lot tamer. I don't know. I've noticed
mine
that,
was out of control.
I haven't been to a few in a bit,
fun.
so hopefully we can go back to another one. Okay, so that's the story there. So I didn't even. Wow. Someone said
it was a long time ago.
I didn't realize that Wolf of
ago.
Wall Street style. Yeah, I guess so. I had no idea that that was only 1 year. But yeah, I started here, traded for a year, and then was asked to start helping with hiring and managing that floor. So that was really fun. We have more stories, so stay tuned for more of those. Okay, I might just get out of JD now. I'm almost thinking I don't want to just because of where it's going. My number one concern here, forget about the daily chart. It was on the 20-minute. Where is it? Right here, JD. It was right into here. I thought we could get to 62 today. We're basically at the bottom of the day here. $1.50 in the money on this name and just looking for more. So this is very, very greedy of me to do this. But now the NASDAQ, you see what I'm saying? How that move just went straight to the upside and we're like, okay, here we go. Just came right back down again. So I don't, this is, hopefully our experience is helping out a little bit here. And we could tell you guys to sort of stay away from this trade right now. We're hosting the show and we're taking on some smaller positions right now. I'm here to tell you.
I'm getting out of Tesla.
No, I'm just here to tell these guys, honestly, look at the trading that I do in the morning time here, when I'm more confident in the spots and just when I know that there's room to go, whether it be upside or downside. I mean, you've sat here, I've sat here, and you guys have watched me take losers, winners, and everything. It's just the trading that happens early on so many of these names. Amazon, I've kind of left that alone. Bed Bath & Beyond, I tried to take that right now. It didn't work. Look where it is now. JD, we took early a couple times. Still holding on to the short because honestly, when I went into these meetings, I just had a 62 bid, never got filled, and I didn't have any stops, so that was okay. Palantir doing absolutely nothing. We put on one early trade, which was a great one. I'd like to see this one close near the bottom, but I'm probably just going to get out of this right now. Roblox, we got in and out. You guys saw me do that one on the show. That was a losing trade, but again, look, right back to that 40 level again, right? So, if this was the AM, I probably would have been thinking short on Roblox, and then these 40s, you hit that over and over and over again, but since these breaks just aren't working, we left that alone. And then Tesla, talk about getting sort of just whipped around a little bit. We were short and out, short again and out, long and out for 20 or 30 cents on that long, but yeah, nothing really happening now in the market. And look at AMD. Like this is the position I just had on. It went all the way up. We're waiting at VWAP to try to get one of those extended moves. Doesn't happen and just comes right back again. So yeah, with only right now, Brennan just gave us it a couple minutes ago. 170 million shares, I always say that, nominally to buy. So what that is, again, we just look at the imbalance locator, which is right here. We add all these up, you go price times size, and that gives a number of 171 right now. But as you can see, nothing's activated yet. These will start coming through at 350, at which point SCOA must have been halted at one point maybe. But other than that, these are all from 929.59. We're gonna wait for these to lock and load at 350, which is only 2 minutes away. Then hopefully we'll get some movement in the market. I'm here for a short, but I don't have much on. JD, Palantir, and AMD all kind of just cruising for a bruising right now.
Yeah, I took out Tesla at 86. When nothing was following through, Tesla's still above VWAP, so it's relatively stronger. So I'd rather just sort of take the profit there. And if I have to hold something into 350 with a trailing stop, let it be a name that's down 5%, that's below VWAP, that has some chance to maybe fall to the downside. But with only 90 seconds to the imbalances, I'm going to tighten up my stop to essentially break even. 188, we'll go 51. So there's my stop in here. We'll tighten up the stop, allow it to try to fall here. That way, if the market does head to the downside, I have something to the short. But after several attempts on my iPad there, the second, and this is the thing, the other thing that you do at this time of day is you want to make sure that you're looking at the right things tomorrow morning. Like, yeah, we're going to have our gappers and our runners, but the second John pull up that Roblox chart, I mean, if you're not looking at Roblox 40 tomorrow, I don't care which way you like it, that's a good triple top at a big psychological level. That sets up for a potential break on strength. It gives you a resistance level. That's the kind of thing I'm always sort of jotting down. So I like that level. And I always like going to Brendo to see what's up.
Not much to choose from here this afternoon, guys. BBBY still kind of falling on its face right now. There's also this one, Drug. Again, not much to see here this afternoon, but here goes Drug, trying to make a run into the close. Maybe good for your list for tomorrow.
Yeah, file up that list. We'll in about 30 seconds. Yeah. We're gonna get these imbalances. Oddly enough, I kept the other name that I mentioned for levels like that, and I'm kind of kicking myself. Hit enter twice for not at least attempting to trade. Didn't quite get to $10, but it did reject $10. So a bit of a move happening to the downside, falling below VWAP on Carnival. That's a big $10 level. I don't want to ignore this completely. It's also potentially breaking, if it makes another move down, breaking the 50 period here on the daily. That's a 50 period simple. Someone asked me today, is it, on your daily chart, is that like an exponential or a simple? I just use the simple there, just what I happen to like. But the imbalances are out right about now's-ish. 3M to sell, 2.7 million shares. That's the only one. BAC's 1.5. Everything else under a million. SoFi 700,000. PayPal 600,000. Looks like it is to the sell side, but not gigantic numbers. It's 3M that stands out there.
Here we go, as Radio would say. Here you go. Nice little move to the downside there, catching, 3M really standing out there. And then they had that lawsuit, remember, last week. Well, the judge ruled that they can't declare bankruptcy on one of their divisions there. Oh, JD, we just got overfilled there. So I'm gonna have to get out of this JD position, but it's all good. That move really got cranked down to the downside right there for JD. So we're gonna watch out for that. What did happen for us, what I want to talk about instead of JD was AMD, because there's the fill. We were waiting right here at 80. It comes in, we get that on those imbalances. But again, this is not a big trade, man. I mean, we didn't have big shares on. If it would have came up to VWAP, which it almost did, that's where we were sitting to get a bigger position. That doesn't happen, so all is well, man. We'll finish the day at a decent spot for us because this is starting to print a little bit. Palantir as well, just dipping down. So, I mean, we might as well take advantage of that move in these imbalances. It did come out. Brendan said that was a 215 to buy, so maybe it's going to be...
What's the buy?
It doesn't feel like it, but I mean...
Well, I'll take...
yeah, Brendan just put that in there. So
you know what's
I'll
weird?
Take it to be true.
I just assumed it was... I mean, the market came down.
I assumed it was a sell, but
when I looked at it, it was mostly sell. So I'm gonna take out... I'm getting out of Snowflake. Oh, Snowflake broke to 186.50. If it's actually to buy, whatever, I'll take the spike and run. The market didn't seem like it wanted to do anything. It just felt like a sell. Everything I looked at on the board was a sell.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised that did come out a buy, but that's all good. We'll just wait to see where we can get filled on some of these trades. I might just, because of that news now, let's just see if, I mean, we're 20 cents in the money. We might as well take some of this on AMD if we can. We already took it out at 80. There we go. We'll punch it out there at 82. And then now we'll just wait for the right 2 ticks out there. If it wants to fall back in, we can get this out. right at the close. So I'm just going to hold the rest of this. It's AMD. It's on the close. We'll take a quick look at these imbalances again. So these are all trades that are going to fire off at 4 p.m. So that's what it means by market on close. So as these trades start to get warmed up, they'll start to get paired off. Like you could see 2.7 plus 6.5. So that pairs off, again, 8 and 9.5 million shares or so to sell at one point. But people have already sort of claimed 6.5 of those. So now, I mean, we might as well show you at 3M here. So there's the big move to the downside. But as this starts to get paired off, you're going to see it can just get corrected back. Because the fear is that if there's still this many shares left, 2.7 million shares left at the close, that will wipe out a whole bunch of levels, therefore printing a lot lower. But as this starts to get paired off, this will start to ease its way back up because traders will realize, hey, you know, there isn't that pressure on the sell side anymore. SoFi with the sell pressure, will it or will it not break 6? It looks like we did already once today. Got down to 597. Is that true? Yes, it is. Right there at about 11 o'clock. SoFi does break lower. Other than that, Uber, that's not a big amount of shares. 28 bucks. That seems about right for Uber. PayPal is at 93. I was going to say 93. It shows up as 93. So that doesn't do anything right there as PayPal. I still like that short if we can get back to 100, but that's a little ways away. Ooh, we don't normally see, yeah, of course, there goes Tesla down to the downside. That hits 285. What a surprise. A level that we were looking at earlier and bouncing right back up now. So that goes 285 up to 285.50 here as these imbalances trying to get paired off.
All I got to say is we had Rob come visit. Remember Rob? Came by. He
Yes.
was going to the Jays game.
Yes.
One of our fans, he was in town.
He's never
to go
allowed
watch
to the Jays game again, apparently.
I know, but they lost all the games this weekend. That sucked. But Rob stayed in line for the bomber jacket on the giveaway.
Yes.
So lined up. Good on you, man. It was like 10 o'clock he got there. The gates open, I think, at 1,
Yeah.
and it was a 3 o'clock game to get the free bomber jacket. I had my daughter who's 5.
Cool.
There was 0% chance. You can't stand in line with a 5-year-old for that many hours. Instead, I paid money to go to the aquarium, then buy stuff at the aquarium, which is crazy. I don't even want to. Ripley's is doing it well at the aquarium.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing good,
they're
man.
killing it there.
Like, you can barely move in that. It's fantastic. You can barely move. When you exit, you have to exit through the gift shop. Good luck getting out of there when you have a kid without something. You got to buy a mermaid this or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, they are just, some things are a license to print money, I'm telling you. And that's a business. It's a good business to be in, but it's a good look. But shout out to you, Rob. Thanks for coming through. We have lots of people stop by and want to see the studio. We're downtown Toronto. I'm a Jays fan. We're always here. Sharif's our security, but even then, usually the back door is unlocked. But yeah, we always welcome people to sort of stop by and say what's up. It was good to have Rob in there. I like any Jays fan that wants to stop by.
Yes,
Brendo?
Just watching Cassava Sciences here, down big time on heavy volume. There was another response note to the final FDA report there that came out going back a week or so ago. SEC apparently was notified on this as well. So some negative, obviously, movement here on Cassava Sciences. I'm going to read through this link and maybe post it for everyone, but a heads up on Sava.
If it was earlier, I'd be, looking for a time.
Cassava Sciences. As here we go to the downside right now. We're going, yeah, buddy, as we're going to end the day pretty close to the highest spot we've been at here. But, again, this is not a huge trade, but it finally worked for us. To the downside goes AMD, and it's not even like we're celebrating like, oh my God, we got a big win, because we don't. But it is making a move to the downside here finally. That JD is probably, still extending. I threw an order at 50 there. Got out of that short, so we did wind up taking about $1.50 or so on that, $1.60 on it. So a nice little move downside there for JD. This short, actually more than that. That's 64.20 out 62.50. So $1.80. Yeah, that's right. So $1.80 there on that move. It just looks like I took too many shares there because I got out. So once I put the order at 62, it was down there, but I did get out there some, so that I just got in and out there quickly, but wish we would have held on to that one. The one name that we did hold on to, of course, is AMD, and you're seeing that one print now. It's too bad. We got close to getting some more shares there, but like I say every day, man, learning as we go. And, the afternoon trade has been a difficult one, but I think I'm starting to figure it out a little bit here. All right, so that's what that is. I don't even see 3M anymore, so let's go back over and check. It's going to be higher than it was. Yeah, there's the little spike up. So you see, once those shares get paired off, look what happens. It goes right back to its 350 level again. So no more 3M on here. stock rifles right back up. So, you know, some algorithmic trading happening there based on what you see here and then what actually happens in the stock. With only 3 minutes to go, man. It's going to be a good one. We're getting ready to go out for drinks here.
We decide where. I just put my vote in, by the way.
Yeah. Brendan's. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we should announce it. We'll wait to see because I don't know what Raheem's situation is. People start showing up where we're at, which would be fine by me. But we'll wait to see on that one. So should be an exciting night. I hope you guys have a good night as well. Will not be a late one for your boy, but should be a fun one.
You said you had something else. Do you have something else after? Is that
no, not today. No.
Activities aren't like.
I banned the activities for today.
Okay, gotcha.
I have a TFC game, which is Wednesday. And then another T-ball game tomorrow.
You know what's crazy? I've never been to see the TFC.
Why is T-ball still going on, man? It's 8:29. It's
playoffs, bro.
August 29. It's not even yet. September 10th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, playoff baseball, T-ball, whatever. That's September, October. You just got to be playing at that time. That's what it's all about.
October.
Yeah, Mr. October, you got to. Did we even talk about earnings? I don't know if we did.
Earnings.
But there's Baidu. There's Futu. Do we want to get to the board quickly? Can we do that?
Hey, there was. I want to mention Best Buy as well, guys. Grinding along the lows here, but interesting look for some of the retailers today, including Best Buy before the open coming up tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Best Buy before the open, Baidu before the open, Futu, which is exactly flat on the session. There's a few names out there. I know, that's a good one. That's exactly flat. But not a heck of a lot. We'll get a few more names later on in the week. I can tell you we got Tony on the bell. You know him. You love him. He's here. He's locked and loaded.
El Tigre.
Yeah, someone in the chat, Hashem, sorry about the Bills losing their punter. Good riddance. I don't care. He gone. He gone.
What a loser for that guy.
He gone.
Was he the guy that was like that punting god or whatever?
He is.
He is. That was the guy.
He's
I was
punt
wondering.
god. He's douche god apparently as well
apparently.
too. So
what a loser.
Whatever. I don't even mind saying it. It's just whatever. If it's even half true, best case scenario pretty much sucks.
Yeah, let's not even talk about it.
Yeah, let's not even talk about it. But we have our fantasy football pool. You're going to the concert after, but on Sunday we're drafting.
Don't say different days. There's so many idiots in our pool that always confuse. Every year
they
ask
Sunday.
the same day.
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday 100% because if it's not, I'm screwed because I have other drafts as well. But here we go. Just out right now. Yeah, enjoy your fantasy football, man. We'll be talking about a lot of that coming up in the next couple months for sure. AMD does crack lower there, trying to break some of these lows down to 88.50. There's the out. Yes, sir. So that turned out to be a great little closing trade for me. And we're pretty darn happy here and even happier that we have Tony on the bell. If you can tell me what Tony's favorite MLB team is, it's the Detroit Tigers because Tony the Tiger.
Well, that's a bit of a problem, because he does work with the Jays.
Yeah. No, his favorite team is the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays,
right, Tony? Blue Jays favorite team? Blue Jays. Okay, here we go. With only 3, 2, and 1, Tony. There we go. So I often do this, but right here on the, thank you, Tony, for that one as well. It's 4 o'clock, and bless you, 4 o'clock and 11 seconds, 12 seconds, 13, 14, and so on. If you guys are following along, we are in lovely Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And it is 4 o'clock and 22 seconds when we throw back over to Brendan to find out how these markets wound up. Did they get positive or not?
No. Pretty ugly. 1 1/4 here for the NASDAQ leading the way downside. It was 1% kind of day for the S&P, 0.8 there for the Dow. We came all the way back to flat here for crude oil. What a wild day it was, up 4%. That quote is wrong, I'm going to guess. I'll double check because it was up more than 4.5%. Disregard that. 4% and 6% there for Ethereum, guys.
So I'm going to make you guys, I actually forgot about this because when we did the Hot Wings challenge, I didn't drop any bars on Friday. So that's my bad. We kind of were doing the challenge. It was a heck of a lot of fun doing it. And then I'm not here because I'm going to be in Dallas on Thursday and Friday. So, I'll do it on Wednesday. However, we didn't even get 1,000 likes today. So if we can get to, no,
then you're not dropping.
So if we have to get to 1,000 likes today, and then from then it's like 1,500 tomorrow. And we do that on Wednesday, and I have something because I got an idea for it for Wednesday. But get us to the 1,000 likes. We don't ask for anything except that you watch, enjoy, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're putting on the trades. We're going to talk the markets. We'll get you breaking news. That's what it's all about here. We have a great community. Anyone that comes here loves it. I know you do. The midday guys absolutely crushed it as usual. Sharif's been doing an unbelievable job. You just put him in the chair, and him and Pratt, it's like they've been doing it forever.
Yeah, man.
So I think those guys are absolutely crushing it. Outside of Pratt on Friday, he was the only person that sweated during the Hot Wings challenge. I'm just going to throw that out there. Everyone else did pretty well, right, Sean?
I think so. I mean, I even put a message in our chat later that night, or it was the next morning. I was like, "How's everyone feeling?"
There
was no comments.
The Ring of Fire didn't even.
I thought that was pretty good. That was a good one there. But yeah, so thank you for enjoying the show. And there it is, man. It's 1.2K. So. You know, we know that you guys are good. The problem is, honestly, we just keep forgetting to ask.
Well, it is.
I don't feel like we asked at all.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
We didn't. So we only asked one time today, and thank you guys for stepping up and doing that. So a big shout out, Lucas, Fahad. I know Fahad was doing a lot of the board today as Lucas helping with that desk. That should be really exciting. Was that wrong, or was that about 50-50? Who was doing? Was Fahad more on that? Oh yeah, Fahad. Okay, good. I heard some laughter over there, so I don't want to say anything bad about Lucas.
How's this guy in a hoodie? These guys are in hoodies.
I thought Fahad, and don't get me wrong, Fahad, you almost hit your head on that bell again walking by there. I saw it. He almost hit it again. That would have been too funny. But thanks, Brendan. Thanks. It was just Sharif and Brad all midday, so that was fantastic. And I think I like that combo. We got some spicy stuff hopefully in store for you guys because Neil's not here. We've already talked about that. Thursday and Friday, so get ready for some more guest hosting.
You'll have a treat. You'll have a treat
coming up then. Yeah, who knows who's gonna be here with me on the desk. So we'll see about that one. You can probably guess, but we'll just hold that off for now. But thank you everyone for watching. We talked a little bit briefly anyways about some of those earnings. We'll be back tomorrow. More Chinese names on the board, Brendo, so that should be exciting to trade one more time as PDD was all the talk early. We have Bed Bath & Beyond still making some moves. AMC unfortunately touched a 52-week low today, so we'll see if that can hold up, but it should be a good one. Have a great Monday, and we will see you back tomorrow. Rise and shine at 8:30. So for everybody at Trader TV Live, I'm Sean, that's Neil, that's Brendan, and we'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.